I'm so pumped up for this show, Manuch.
It's about damn time.
I know. I've been pretty lazy for the last year.
The weather changes, and all you Northwesterners.
Yeah, man, this is awesome.
You guys kind of come alive. We had a little rainy day yesterday. You're in your own element, being from Seattle.
I felt like a duck.
Today, I think the highs will get to about 65, 68.
In my car, it was 70.
Yeah, and beautiful, beautiful day. Now the lows, folks, will be around 45 degrees. And, we've got the high school game tonight, you and I.
We do.
We got Red Mountain going over to Mountain View in tonight's game. Lows around 45 degrees, so I hope you're dressed warmly, Jimmy.
I want you to know that being a Boy Scout, I do know how to build the campfire.
If we need one in the stands there?
I've got it covered. Trust me.
Folks in Mountain View would love us.
Let's go.
Fire.
Let's go, man.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
Well, I should probably take full credit for this because this is what I spoke about on the show yesterday. I said you had to have more output from Mikal Bridges, from Campaign, and from DeAndre Ayton in order for the Suns to be successful in winning the game last night against the Minnesota Timberwolves in Minneapolis. And we also said if Devin Booker scores 30 or more, they've got a great chance at winning. Manuch, that's exactly the way the game played out.
Oh, they must have been listening at Roc and Manuch on the internet to kind of figure that all out. Yeah, I think that they all understood that. Hey, look, we got to pick up the slack, so to speak, with Cam Johnson being out for what it looks like almost the next 2 months, 4 to 6 weeks. But it's interesting, Bridges. What a phenomenal first quarter.
Yep.
First quarter, he was hot, and then everybody got in the flow. Watching Campaign, 4 for 9 as far as the 3-point ball, and then D-Book just kind of got into a rhythm. He got the tempo, and that was pretty much game, set, match. And then Shamet coming off the bench.
Yes, Landry Shamet
with
his nice game.
With his 16 points.
Yes.
And you know what? The thing that I appreciated watching that game is anytime Minnesota made a run now, they went back on top.
Yes.
So you saw them get down to 8, then it was back up to 15, then to 20, back to 16, then back to 18, and they pretty much closed the deal. And to see Torrey Craig, pretty much him get after a little bit, but the one guy that I really appreciated getting back in the flow was Dario Saric.
Yep.
13 minutes.
Yes.
Even though he had to 5 points, but he looked more active, looked more confident. No hesitation as far as him going up for rebounds.
Yes.
But yeah, this team picked up the slack or picked up the scoring and pretty much blew away, I would say, a disheveled, discombobulated Timberwolves team.
They're struggling to try to figure out, excuse me, I think with what they're going to do with Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns. And I don't like Towns parking his big behind out behind the 3-point line. I mean, that's only in case you have to try to get back into the game and you have limited minutes in order to do that. Then you start pulling up for those.
So do you think that the roles of Gobert and Towns, they switched that a little bit? Because it was pretty much Rudy going up and down the lane. He was the guy down low.
He was.
Catman was on the perimeter.
That's what I'm saying.
He would drive periodically.
Yes, you need to figure out your offense in order for that team to be more successful. And it's going to take them, I think, probably half the season to kind of find their way to make sure that it's functioning properly. But I think once they do, I think they're going to be a reasonably decent team. But right now, they're lost in space.
I thought also, Jimmy, that watching that team, the flow of the offense,
yes,
the confidence of Bridges, getting Da involved, even at the 9 points, 6 rebounds, everybody, the flow, the back doors, the screens, the 3-point shooting. That's what that offense, you hope, was going to look like the rest of the season. But I think they know that, hey, look, this is going to be the new norm until Bridges can come back.
Look, Booker has 10 assists in the game, and he scores over 30. So it's a game that I think that the Suns will look at it on tape, and they will indeed say, oh, yeah, that's what we need to do now more consistently.
And it seems as though, even though CP3 is out and Campaign's the guy,
yes,
to your point about Devin Booker allows everybody to get into the flow.
Correct.
And then the second quarter, third quarter, and the fourth quarter, he's like, okay, we're going to shut this bad boy out.
Yeah.
3-point land, was he 5 for 7 for 3-pointers? He's hot. The guy is hot.
He's in the zone, and that's it.
If he is not on track to be the November player of the month, then I don't know who else is.
He's playing exceptionally well. All right, so we also have for you today the Arizona Cardinals, and the big question is, will he or won't he? And it's all about the hamstring. And Manuch, I thought you made a terrific point, which are far and few between.
Thank you. Keep that on tape back there, Ben. I'll take it.
And you talked about, okay, Murray can play, but he won't be able to explode and maybe run away from Aaron Donald. So if that's the case in this game, and you referenced the fact they have to have Colt McCoy ready, is that still the feeling that you have? Yeah,
and it's interesting when you watched Hard Knocks last night, and I enjoyed it, but I thought it was edited too much. But you see the one play where he got sacked, he was running, and the trainer came out, and he looked at me and goes, it's my SH, the blank. I didn't know that was the term for a hamstring. And the trainer goes, okay, halftime.
Yeah.
So you could see he was struggling, and I think also on that run at the end of the first half, where he fumbled the ball, you could see him get up, had a little hitch in his giddy up.
He did.
So all that being said, if a guy, when you're out there playing, it's hard to tell yourself, all right, third gear.
Right.
Especially if you're running away from a guy like Aaron Donald, like you're talking about.
I was just going to say, man.
You talk about this front three, and then they bring the linebacker periodically to the front, 4 guys rushing. So if they play him, it'll be more rollouts, bootlegs, waggles, and they won't rely on his RPO or his running. Because that's part of his game.
That is his game.
Now, if he's not 100%, I'd have no problem with Colt McCoy coming in, allow him to take a game off, get the treatment, and see how Colt McCoy runs this offense to win a game. Now, the offense is running okay, but they get in their way all the time. So here's the thing. With a banged-up offensive line, I think, 7 of the offensive linemen, they didn't practice yesterday, Jimmy.
No, they did. I saw that.
So are you going to throw Kyler out there to the Wolves, and he's going to have to move? Or, hey, Colt, got to put your big boy pants on. You might earn the red badge of courage after this game. Because they're going to bring the heat, Jimmy.
They will.
And if they're going to bring it, and they're going to bring it constantly, and Kyler's only 85-90%, and he can't, he's got to hesitate, that's not good for anybody.
If you have Aaron Donald bearing down on you,
brother,
you got to run. And I'm with you 100%, but you know that Murray is a gamer. He's going to tell the coach, I'm good.
Well, okay, that's all well and good, but sometimes what coaches have to do with pro athletes is protect them from themselves.
Correct.
So if he gets out there and he retweaks it, or let's say this, Jimmy, he tears it by running even more so, then what good did you do by putting him out there versus, okay, let's give him a week off or maybe another week off, and maybe you could get lucky. Blind squirrel finds a net once in a while, right, Jimmy?
Fair enough, yeah.
And you beat the Rams, but you got a very good shot. You can do it with Colt McCoy and then just salvage him so he doesn't get hurt. And then next thing you know, he's out for the next 4 or 5 weeks.
Yes.
You and I both know how long it takes to come off a hamstring injury. He's got a slight tweak, probably got a little bing, versus if it's a tear, he's in trouble. So if he's not at least, I'm going to say 95%. I just say
you're going that high. You wouldn't go 80%. You wouldn't play him?
Again, because if he injures it, where you at? Then he's off for 4 or 5 weeks. Now that's okay because you're covered. Colt McCoy can handle it, so I have no problem. But here's the thing, Jimmy. They're paying him $250 million.
I'm well aware.
See, he's the money guy.
Yes.
So if he's pretty close to being ready, they'll probably play him. Unfortunately, that's in the way, is that big money. He's now getting paid. And sometimes they can say, well, he seems good. No, just back him off.
Okay.
And let Colt McCoy come in there. And guess what? Colt McCoy might be that breath of fresh air that they need. And he might be that guy that reads the defense.
Might be.
Especially against a very bad. A team in the Rams that can't move the ball as well.
No, they cannot.
And the Rams may be playing their backup quarterback as well, too.
Yeah.
So, tit for tat, play the backups and see what happens.
What'd you think of the Hard Knocks? Just an overall
You know what?
view.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was over-edited.
Okay.
I thought there were some pieces that went too long. Okay, Cliff Kingsbury's got a nice house. I see 2 paintings. Okay, that's all I need to see.
Yeah.
Don't need to take a tour of the house. The practice I thought was okay, a little bit too long in the rain. Don't you have a bubble that you can go practice in when the rain's out there? Guys are getting.
I cracked up when it was raining. It cracked me up.
I always enjoy the meetings. I thought the meetings could have got a little deeper, but there's a lot of mo-fries and F-bombs and this, and I thought to a point, I like to see more quarterback meeting talk.
Okay.
That's just me.
That's you.
I want to see more realistic and non-editing stuff, but of course, they have editing, what do they call it? Editing control?
That is correct.
Editorial control.
Which, by the way, brings us to our State 48 Roofing. It's your call question of the day for a free quote repair installation. Head to state48roofing.com, and you can follow them on social media by searching #60roofstatus. So here is the question. How would you grade the first Cardinals Hard Knocks? Your options: 1, an A, 2, B, 3, C, 4, D. I know you want to let it marinate, is what you're telling me.
Absolutely. Just go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter. Take a good look at it. I'm leaning toward it was average. It was okay.
Yeah.
It was, I think for me, watching the two best parts of that were Buda Baker.
Yes.
We've been saying that forever. He's the dog. He's the inspiration. He's the energy of that team. And then J.J. Watt at the very end, pretty much said it like it is. I always felt that when Cliff Kingsbury spoke, he was like, let me hurry up and say something. And okay, let's break. I was like, where's the heart? Where's the soul? Dude, guys, look. Hey, man, this is break. This is the time you got to look at yourself in the mirror and make sure you get this. I know he means well, but I don't feel the heart.
Okay.
I feel the soul.
Okay.
Come on, Cliff. Beat the drum, man.
All right, pal. Hey, the Cards and Rams, what needs to happen for the Cardinals to steal one in L.A.? Well, you're going to hear from Buda Baker and the speech that he gave to his teammates on Hard Knocks last night after the loss, of course, to Seattle. It's all coming up. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910. At Twin Peaks. We're all looking good. Getting ready for the cold, cold night tonight.
Yeah, Twin Peaks on Camelback. Be the southeast corner, about 20th Street and Camelback. Come on in and get ready to watch the Atlanta at Carolina game. Yep. Atlanta's got to keep pace.
They do.
Basically, Atlanta, Tampa. I don't know about New Orleans or Carolina, but Atlanta, you look at Mariota. He's the guy and got the Falcons of all people that are in the hunt. So that game will be on tonight at anywhere in the 4 Valley, Twin Peaks around the valley.
Fair enough. All right. Speaking of the NFL, and then we want to get into the Buda Baker speech. There's breaking news basically out of the nation's capital. And once again, Manuch, it is around the Washington Commanders.
Yeah, Daniel Snyder. It doesn't surprise me. The D.C. Attorney General Carl Racine.
Yes.
This just broke about an hour ago, folks. Announced a lawsuit against embattled Daniel Snyder, the owner of the Commanders, and the NFL. So the team and the NFL on Thursday. So they're also part of this, alleging they colluded to deceive D.C. residents about the NFL investigation of the team's toxic workplace culture and allegations of sexual assault. And this is what Carl Racine said, quote, "For years, the team and its owner have caused very real and very serious harm and then lied about it to dodge accountability and to continue to rake in profits." He also says, so far, they seem to have gotten away with it, but that stops today, close quote. So this is incorporating the National Football League,
right?
The team, specifically Daniel Snyder. He also goes on to say, in fact, the evidence shows Daniel Snyder was not only aware of the toxic culture within the organization, he encouraged it and he participated in it. Mr. Snyder also exerted a high level of personal control over everything the Commanders did, and his misconduct gave others permission to treat women in the same demeaning manner. Now, folks, this is a civil lawsuit.
Right.
Not going to go to trial, but this is basically compensatory damages that would be would be doled out.
Compensatory.
Yeah. Thank you so much, said the broadcaster. So that's pretty much came down, and I think you take a good look at this. I think this is welcomed. But when you mention the team, the National Football League, yes, i.e. Roger Goodell,
yeah,
and were there any other owners in cahoots with this as well, too? Boy, talk about a black eye for the National Football League. Not a good look.
It is not a good look, and we're going to see how this plays out here in the coming weeks. All right, so we're watching Hard Knocks last night, and both Manuch and I we both look at it at different angles. Manuch
Sure.
from the quarterback position, me from a broadcaster's point of view, and how everything kind of flows together. The one thing that we did both agree on was the Cardinals' Buda Baker. And Manuch,
is he a fire plug?
He is.
He is.
He is a dog.
He's go gadget. Yeah, you're right. He's a dog. He's intense. He's nonstop. He's the kind of guy that you love on your team, on that defense, to keep everybody up.
Yes.
And also what it showed on the sidelines after scores, he's over there encouraging guys. Hey, look, long way to go. Let's keep up. Let's keep going. I mean, after a 2-13 play drives, he's also encouraging the offense. Hey, guys, go get it.
Yeah.
We've got you. So I think that those are some of the things. I like at Buda Baker, clearly the heart and soul of that locker room and that team.
All right, so if you didn't see it, we're going to play some of the clip for you, and we'll do it right now.
We need to stack the up. All of us. Stack the up. Work harder. Recover. Watch more film. I'm tired of losing. It hurts my heart. I'm tired of losing at home. We need to get this together. Come on. Let's go, man. I love y'all boys, man. Let's go, man. Come on. I'm tired of it. I'm tired.
There's your heart and soul, that team right there.
Man, you are not kidding.
That is your heart and soul. And that team needed that in that game after that loss to Seattle.
You want passion? That was passion.
And I hope that these guys take it to heart, injured or not. And then you also saw at the very end of the show, J.J. Watt, basically, I don't know if it was after practice or it was after the game. He's kind of said the same thing, man. Mm-hmm. Guys, we got to go. We're at the fork in the road.
They are.
We either go one way or the other. But Buda Baker, and then to show with him working with his sister who is visiting in
Yes,
town. And
that was fun.
she's looking to go to Arizona State.
Yep.
Here's a Washington grad.
Yep.
You want to come here where the sunshine is, and you got 80,000 students. But I thought that was a good humanistic piece of who Buda Baker is.
Yes.
Low key but intense. Dialed in with his sister, and then after the game, she's like, I'm hungry for some wings. He goes, man, I'm not hungry. I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I love seeing that. Now I hope those other 52 guys in that locker room feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that they're pissed too, that they get their butts ready to go. And because after a while, if you keep giving those impassioned speeches week in and week out, it falls on deaf ears.
It does. It does. They hear it, and then the next thing they hear it again, and the next thing you know, it just rolls off.
And the quote you hear all the time, and I use it, is you got to look at yourself in the mirror. You know, what can you do? What do you have to do?
Yeah.
You know, Cliff Kingsbury said that. What do you have to do, guys, to get yourself ready? You know, it's a combination of coaches and players and blah, blah, blah. I said, look, if I'm in that locker room, like Cliff, going, look, this is on me, guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to get this. We're going to get it fixed. This is on me. I'm the guy. I'm going to lead you guys to get this thing done right. Cliff, take ownership. Take
responsibility.
Take ownership. And again, it seems like every time Cliff speaks, it's okay, break. I'm like, dude, I know he was like, we got to get our F in this and F in that. Man, why the guy cusses more than I thought he did. I'm like, wow, this kid from Texas, San Antonio, he's bringing it.
They just make words up as they go along.
But I liked Buda. I like JJ. I like Sean as a Jefferson, the receiver coach. I love his talk with Deion D Hop. Hey, look, man, you got to keep coming. Yeah. You're expected to be the guy.
Yes,
and you can still make the Hall of Fame. And it got D Hop's attention. He goes, "You still think I can make the Hall of Fame?" Yeah. Okay. I think that. So I think that is one of the other things too. The other thing I thought as well too is that the little brouhaha on the sideline.
Yeah.
Much about nothing.
No, that was nothing.
He's like, dude, I'm open.
Yeah.
Did you see me? He goes, I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
I'll get you the ball. I'll get you the ball.
Let me drop this on you. Now, Buda's hurt. And he's not going to play.
We don't know he's not going to play yet.
Well,
I'm sorry. You're Buda. I'm sorry. I was thinking of Kyler.
Yeah.
Buda's out for the next 3 to 4 weeks.
He's out.
Yeah.
So now he gives that impassioned speech, but now he might be on the sidelines, but he's not on the field.
Well, and you hope that if he's on that sideline, he continues to impassion his guys.
You're right.
Banjo will probably be the guy that steps up in his place. Or maybe they pushed Jalen Thompson in there and put Banjo at the free safety. They're intertwined.
Okay.
Those guys at all times. So I think that you look at that and watching that now with basically Buda out. Looks like Kyler pretty much may or may not be out. He's going to be questionable.
Correct.
I counted this morning. There are 14 individuals questionable for this game.
It's amazing.
7 of them are your offensive line.
I know.
Don't you want to see Kyler out to see if it's the offense
or if it's him?
I said that.
I would love to see Colt McCoy go in there, throw for 350 yards. 2 touchdowns, a pick, and they win the game, and then we get to deal with that and watch that on Hard Knocks.
And here's the thing, Rock. You need a guy that's fairly mobile against this pass rush.
You do.
Because if you get Kyler Murray out there and he takes off and he retweaks the hammy and injures it even worse, I'm like you, Rock. You have nothing to lose.
You really don't.
I put him in that game.
I mean, I know you just talked about the fact that, sit him out a week.
Sure.
It could be worse. It could get worse.
You've got 8 more games. You'd like to have, if he misses one, then you have him for the remaining 7 games. Right. Okay. And to your point, Rock, hey, who knows? Colt McCoy, maybe he's more consistent with the offense. He won 2 out of 3 last year.
He did.
When he filled in for Kyler Murray. So I look at this whole thing and going, with the entire offensive line, literally everybody banged up, you're going to need some guy with escapability because he can move a little bit.
He can get around.
Because if all of a sudden Kyler's got to turn around and escape, he might tweak that bad boy and they may be out for 3, 4, 5, 6 games.
Right.
Who knows? But all that being said, I look at this, the passion within and watching that Hard Knocks last night. Okay, they practice hard, but are you practicing? They kind of quasi-scrimmaged in last week before that Seattle game. You had the pads on, they're getting after a little bit. And I also love when Kyler told Rondale Moore, and Rondale's like, what do you got? What do you got? He goes, just beat him. Just beat him. And just that little stuff like that gets those guys in tune.
I'm just disappointed that, and I apologize for being tardy today, but you guys are giving the show away. And I would say 90% of the people listening have not seen it yet.
Okay, well, we have. We're giving our opinion on what it is. I mean,
It was on
go
last.
to it.
It was on last
So
night.
you go to it, take a look at it. No spoiler alert here. I mean, this is what I saw. Now, I didn't break down the entire start to finish.
No, we didn't do that.
Yeah.
We basically concentrated on the speech by Buda Baker,
which was out yesterday.
Yes.
Yep.
And he talked about J.J. Watt at the end. And
I'm sorry, I'm going to talk about
that was it.
So Thursday, when it comes on Thursday, when we talk, I'm talking about, so, hey, folks, heads up. Watch it Wednesday
But you got to
night.
do a disclaimer.
Yeah, well, I'm not doing
you got to do a disclaimer. It's just it's courtesy.
Well, here's the thing.
It's not every year the Cardinals are on Hard Knocks.
That is true.
This happens. It very rarely happens every 10,
to
20 years.
To our listeners out there, get on track. Watch Hard Knocks Wednesday night.
There were some other things going on last
Yeah.
night. There was Suns game. There were a bunch of football games.
We did all
Tape
that.
it.
There's
Tape
the politics that are going on. I mean, there's a lot going on. You tape it, but when do you have time?
11:30
A lot of people have jobs and families.
Right.
You know,
We do. What do
they're
you think
not
we're
on.
doing?
You two guys are both in your 60s and retired. You guys just do this for
I'm
fun.
every time, man.
You guys are retired.
I'm still busted.
You guys
in
have
here.
all the time in the world.
Not giving it away, just giving our opinion for what the hell we saw last night.
Isn't it nice when the boss shows up?
Yeah, absolutely.
He ruins the whole flow of the show.
Yeah, I know. We were on track too.
We
man.
were on
You really weren't.
We
I was
were on
listening. I
fire.
went to another channel. I was like,
Oh,
what are these
sure
guys
you
talking
did.
about?
So here's what he would want us to do. Okay, listeners, we're going to do our opinions on what we saw on Hard Knocks last night. If you don't want to hear it, change the channel.
Yep, I would say
and
and
then come
I
back
wouldn't even
in
go. And
5
as a
minutes.
producer, I'd be like, we should let this kind of,
Yeah.
it plays tonight,
Sure,
so everybody can see it.
Go to
So-
YouTube.
It plays all the rest of the
HBO,
week.
YouTube, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Let's go. Did you pull a hammy on the way in or something? What happened? You don't want to listen to it?
No,
We're
you
breaking it
guys,
down.
I don't want to listen to something I haven't seen yet.
Okay, then I'm
Well,
giving.
wait. Now, is that our fault?
No,
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Warning
It's-
to all the listeners.
See,
Watch it Wednesday night.
that's all you need to do is give a disclaimer.
No disclaimer,
Because
man.
people could say, "All right, I know that I'm not going to keep listening." If you want to, it's like you don't want to know the ending of the movie. You're basically giving the ending of the movie.
We
now.
didn't give the ending of the
It's
movie.
basically like, all right, you're not going to talk about Top Gun when it came on Friday. On Saturday, you're going to talk about Top Gun. No, you're going to let it kind of hang for a couple days,
Brother,
3 days. Give everybody an opportunity to see it.
It's the freaking.
This is the same level as Top
No,
Gun.
no, it ain't.
It's
No.
Hard Knocks. It's football.
It's
I
Cardinals,
get that.
man. Yeah,
I get that, and I agree with you. At least on this
Yeah,
point, the only
yeah.
one that you've made sense so far.
Rock, you're getting out trumped right now.
Is that
Hope he runs.
It's unusual. It's unusual for the Arizona Cardinals to be on Hard Knocks.
That's why. It's,
Okay, it's a big deal. So it's a big deal to Manuch and myself.
Absolutely,
you guys
man.
must have had a guest cancel or something. That's
No.
probably why you needed filler.
No, we didn't feel it. We're breaking segment 2, man. It's Hard Knocks. Daniel Snyder, he's got to getting called to the principal's office.
He is.
And Hard Knocks. Here we go.
Okay, go ahead. Get us out of break.
All right,
then.
Jimmy, take us a break.
All
then.
right,
Get your read in.
fair enough. Hey, you want to go to Hawaii? Hey, you can go with us. Nope, you can take us. Nope, you probably just want to go by yourself. Here's how you can do it. Just go to Twin Peaks. It's the annual Picks Fan Pick'em contest, and it's all courtesy of Blue Moon and Coors Light. Just go to fanpick'em.com. Get in your weekly picks to win yourself a trip for 2 to Hawaii, or the other option, $5,000 in cash. Just go to fanpick'em.com. Hey, we're hanging out here at Twin Peaks on Camelback, and Rock finally showed up.
That's right.
About damn time.
Party's on. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
This is
Camelback. Our State 48 Roofing Get Your Call question today. How do you grade the Cardinals on Hard Knocks, if you got a chance to watch it? A, B, C, or D. Those are your choices. Go to our Twitter page at Roc and Manuch, and always brought to you by State 48 Roofing. For a free quote, go to state48roofing.com. Conference USA signed a new 5-year media rights contract with the CBS Sports Network and ESPN. It's going to be a new look for the Conference USA, and they're going to shift its entire October football game schedule to midweeks starting next year. They're basically taking the strategy of the MAC, where the MAC plays the Tuesday and Wednesday games, and they're going to do the same thing. So they're basically there's going to be games in November where it'll play into, or October, I should say, that'll play very similar to what we see in November with the Mid-American Conference. MAC action is what we call it right now. I'm not sure what the CUSA is going to do, that being the conference, but they're going to be making each school about $750,000 per year, which is just a slot behind the Sun Belt and the MAC was making or are making. So interesting there. And then we found out the Pac-12 sent out a robust proposal to ESPN and Amazon as part of the negotiations for their new media rights deal. According to Dennis Dodd from CBSSports.com, it says the Pac-12 is expected to finalize a deal in principle by the beginning of 2023. And if a deal with ESPN and Amazon is reached, the Pac-12 would likely be able to command a sum approximate to the Big 12's base salary.
Wow, it's kind of a game changer if you're you got one foot out the door. If you're unless the Pac-12 or Big 10 can get to some of the Big 12 Pac-12 teams before this contract.
That's the obstacle, because if it's the survival of the Pac-12, if Big 10 expansion targets Oregon and Washington, Stanford, and Cal, and then they might as well just join the Conference USA,
and that makes this new contract moot point. And the thing is, not until they talk about maybe by 2020, at the beginning of 2023 or end of 2023. Well, there's some urgency here right now with the Pac-12 to say, can we get this bad boy done here before these other teams get poached and go to the other conferences? Now, at that point, if you're the Pac-12 teams that are being poached or looked at by the Big 12 or the Big 10, then now you go, okay, is it $75 million a year? If we're going to get the same amount of money, do we just stay where we're at and kind of work things out, or do we make the leap and look at the competition, look at the opportunities? But at least if you put it on the table and you say, okay, this is good, you can compare apples to apples versus apples to oranges, then that's a benefactor for the Pac-12. Because you got to know the Pac-12 commissioners going, man, we got to make this thing happen. We got to hurry up and make it happen.
What was the date on that again? Is it the first of the year?
For who?
For the Pac-12 and their rights?
Yes.
2023. So we're talking January of 2023. Is that the way you read it?
It's what it says.
Yeah. That's when they're
beginning of 2023. They hope to finalize the deal in principle. Doesn't mean it would start then.
I understand.
It could start in 24, 25.
Right. Yes.
So, but to have the deal done. You think about, we are basically 2 more weeks away until business stops. Thanksgiving hits. Nothing gets done in December, especially collegiately, other than bowl games. Right. But other than that, people are going on their vacations, the family time, and all that. So it won't take, they don't get back to the table until second week of January.
And then at that point, if it's January, February, March, you can put off anything in particular if that's what you're looking for to make that happen, and then be in a comparable situation. 75 million, 50. Well, here's what the Big 12 is offering per year. It's about 75 per. Can you guys bump that? So if that's the case, maybe the Amazons and the CBSs and all the above can tweak their numbers to keep the Pac-12. Because you lose those teams, their numbers aren't going to be as valuable.
I get that, but you just referenced Amazon. Right now, have you seen the NFL numbers on Amazon Prime?
They're now up.
They're
now up.
They're diving on Amazon Prime.
That was my next story. Amazon numbers are actually up. They started off slow. There was a slight dip, and now Thursday Night Football is now you're seeing it actually going in the right direction.
That? The numbers,
Sports Business Journal.
The numbers I saw, it was massive the very first Thursday because
it's like
of
10 million. No, sorry, like 14 million.
14 million. Then now it's down to about 8.5 million.
3, which I don't think is, if you look at the numbers in general, like CBS is off to their best start since 2015.
Yes.
They're averaging 17.8 million per window. through week 9. So if they're getting 17.8, that's on over the air.
Yep.
That's on Sundays.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
That's
And I look at Amazon, if they're getting 10 million and it's not over the air and it's on a Thursday, that's awesome.
All right, but here's my
That
point.
is awesome.
Here's my point. If you're the Pac-12 and all of a sudden you're on Amazon Prime instead of being on ESPN or Fox, those numbers, I think, will be minuscule.
College is different than NFL.
I know that.
But don't you think?
I know that.
Don't you think college is a little bit different of a different viewer? If I'm an ASU fan, I'm going to have Amazon Prime
Just to
because I want to
your
watch
school.
them.
Okay.
Don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. And another thing too, Jimmy, is
Similar kind of to the NFL ticket. However, on Sunday you get to see your teams.
yeah.
You go to a bar and see all of them.
All of them.
But if the numbers Amazon Prime gives them the Godfather offers,
Right.
they're going to stick
Well,
with that.
yes, they will.
So
It's a Godfather.
Amazon claims that they have 200 million subscribers worldwide.
Okay.
NBC, CBS, ESPN doesn't have that.
No, they don't.
So it could be advantageous for the Pac-12 to make that step, put their foot in the water before anybody else.
Sure.
But I almost think they're at the point where they're too late to the game.
Yeah, I think you're right, Rock. I think a couple things. It'll be better since DirecTV never got on board. And I think that a lot of times that ship has sailed because you look at everybody else has got their contracts in place.
Right.
And who knows what deals are on the table right now. And if the Pac-12 or Big Ten were to come back and sweeten the pot knowing that this is in the works. Yeah, I think they're way late on this bad boy. I think it's
They
way
are.
behind.
No, it's interesting. Coming up in a couple weeks, next week that is, 2 mega collisions in the Pac-12. It's either Utah at Oregon or USC at UCLA.
Yep.
And they're working out the window right now for Fox and ESPN on who's going to put it in drive time,
Right.
or in prime time, that is. And because there's college football playoff implications for that.
Absolutely. there is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to get it. I'd have to say it's USC,
Yeah.
UCLA. That'll get a bigger draw than Utah at Oregon.
Well,
I agree.
the LA
100%.
market, number
Yes,
one,
of course.
in that. And then even though Oregon at that time will probably be higher ranked, but I think you got top 10 team in USC. Who knows UCLA, who maybe even be in the top 10 at that particular time. But that LA market, that pretty much trumps everything.
Hey, we're going to catch up with the voice of the Rams next hour. But before we do that, we're going to come up. We're going to get you caught up in the best cities to live in for fans of the 5 major sports. Yes, 5.
Okay.
5, it's got to include the
I'm going to tell you that next.
Okay.
We're live
Yeah.
at Twin Peaks in Phoenix, thanks to Blue Moon and Coors Light. This is Fox Sports 910.
know the human head weighs 8 pounds?
Did you know that Troy Aikman in only 6 years has passed for 16,303 yards? Did you know the career record for most hits is 4,256 by Pete Rose, who is not in the Hall of Fame?
Do you know that my next door neighbor has 3 rabbits?
Now time for Fox Sports 910's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B to give you the random
Guys are hot, 5 seconds.
driven by your Valley Chevy dealers. Find new roads at your Chevy dealer. For a dealer near you, head to valleychevy.com.
So researchers put together an annual study. It's actually a company called Wallet Hub. They're a personal finance website, and they released their 2022 best sports cities. Now, next year, North America and the sports industry just in North America is expected to reach $83 billion, which is enormous, absolutely enormous. And they put together this study to find out the best cities to live in for fans of the 5 major sports, and that 5th sport they're using soccer.
Okay.
I would have said college football, but soccer.
Okay.
And I get it. So they looked at a little bit more than 55 factors across all these 5 major sports. That's football, baseball, basketball, hockey, and soccer. Things like win-loss records, how passionate the fans are, how affordable it is to go see a game. And in the end, the big cities, of course, did the best, partly because they're more likely to have professional teams in those and have all 5.
Yeah.
So when you look at the top 10 best sports cities in America, overall, give me your top 3.
Ooh.
The best, you mean you have to.
Overall.
Okay.
So you take all 5 majors.
Yes.
Well, 4 plus soccer.
Yes, I hear you.
All right.
I'm going to go.
And think, I gave you somewhat of the criteria.
Yeah.
It's unlike the clipboard report. There's a criteria. Manuch's clipboard report. Win-loss records, passionate, affordability, amenities at the arenas, stadiums, fields, etc.
I'm going to go Philadelphia.
Okay. They were
What number?
7th.
Oh boy.
What's your second one there, Jimmy?
I'm also going to go with New York.
That was number 3.
Okay.
Best
I'm
sports cities overall.
I'm going to go Boston.
That was number 2. So you're done. All right.
Well,
Manuch, you only had 3. You guys said top 3.
Okay.
Give me choices you want.
I had 2 of the top 3.
That's good.
All right.
So Manuch has got 2 out of 3 now. You only need to get 1.
Yeah.
You only need 1, Manuch.
My top were Boston.
Or you have that.
Yeah.
You know that one.
Chicago.
No.
Okay. And the last
You already screwed it up.
I'm going to go with my last one, and they got it all. I'm going to go L.A.
Okay. You're lucky. That's 1.
Okay, got one. I got first and second.
You really got 1 because he already gave you 1.
Well, I know, but
I gave you 2 of the 3.
But you're not supposed to give the order until we all give our picks, and then you can go from there. So I got L.A. and Boston. I got 1 and 2.
Is this thing on?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't understand.
When do you
that.
turn 70?
Not for another 15 years.
All right. So this is the order:
right.
L.A., Boston, New York.
Yes.
Okay.
Pittsburgh came in 4th,
Wow.
followed by Dallas, Miami, Philly,
All right.
Denver, Washington, D.C., and Atlanta.
Okay.
Now, they also broke it down by individual sport. Now, we didn't do very well on this first one, so we're going to dumb it down here for you two guys.
I need all the help
I
I
just
can get.
need your number 1 football city, not top 3. You only get 1.
Okay, Jimmy.
I have the top 5 in front of me of all these sports, but you only get to pick your 1
for football city.
for football city, best football city. Same criteria.
Okay. I know that they threw snowballs at Santa Claus in the 70s, but they are and 80s. They are passionate. So I'm going to go Philadelphia.
Didn't even make top 5.
Wow.
I'm going to go
Manuch?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh's number 1.
Wow.
Followed by Dallas, Green Bay, Boston, and LA. All
right.
right. How about basketball fans?
Are we talking
One.
NBA?
NBA. yes.
NBA. Okay. I'm going to go Boston.
Okay. New York.
LA, Boston, Salt Lake City, San Francisco, Philadelphia.
They love
You guys both got a point.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. They love the hoops.
Baseball.
Oh, man. No brainer. St. Louis.
You can agree or disagree.
No, I'll pick another city because
It's okay. You can pick St. Louis. It's all right.
No, I'm not going to do that because
smart.
I think yeah.
So Jimmy Smart.
That was
been
a hint.
around.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I would probably say New York.
Yeah, it's got two teams.
Two teams.
Yeah, it goes New York, St. Louis, LA, Atlanta, and Boston. And how about hockey?
I'm going
NHL hockey.
Oh,
Well, there's
man.
three teams in
tough.
New York.
Give me one.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
I'll take New York.
Okay, that finished fifth.
I'm going to go Boston.
Boston was number one.
Okay.
Followed by Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, Detroit's still there. And St. Louis. All right, then finally, best cities for soccer fans, like anyone cares. But what is best cities for soccer
Come on,
fans?
man. We got the Phoenix Rising here.
Okay, but they're not MLS.
No,
yet.
they're
I'm going to
not.
go Seattle.
Okay.
Best soccer fans MLS. Now, if it was the North American Soccer League,
Jimmy.
I would have taken New York
MLS, Jimmy.
because they had Pele and Giorgio Quinaglia. But
Damn
now that
show
you're
off.
forcing, I know. Now that you're and Los Angeles had Johan Cruyff and Franz Beckenbauer.
Got to go to commercial break soon.
Go already.
Now I'll go to the MLS.
Three.
Well, Tampa Bay had the Tampa Bay.
Before the sun goes
I'll
down.
just go New York.
Not even the top five. It goes L.A., Seattle, Portland, Oregon,
Okay.
Orlando, then Kansas City. Kansas City.
Jimmy's over
Real quick,
pontificating.
I thought this was interesting. They did best mid-sized sports cities. It went Green Bay, Buffalo, Glendale, Salt Lake, and Tuscaloosa.
Glendale
And then
qualified?
small sports cities. It went Clemson, South Carolina, West Point, New York, Fayette, Mississippi, State College, PA, and Hanover, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Some other notes here. Phoenix had the lowest Major League Baseball ticket price, $22.12, which was almost 3 times lower than Boston, which had the highest, about $62. NHL fans in Pittsburgh are about 28 times friendlier and more engaging than New York counterparts.
Yes, they are.
Charlotte has the lowest average ticket price at about $63. Golden State's got the highest at $203.
Yeah.
Atlanta has the highest attendance for MLS. And the lowest is Chicago. And then Jacksonville's got the lowest ticket price. Vegas has the most.
Here's a story that the Chicago Sting played at Wrigley Field, and I got there to do the game on ESPN, and it's pouring rain, and they had set us up in the bleachers in the rain, and the rain's
Get
coming
you out of the
down.
press box there, Jimmy?
No, because the way the field was set up in
Configured.
Wrigley Field, yes, you couldn't go to the press box.
Hey, our random facts of the day are brought to you by the Valley Chevy Dealers. Your Valley Chevy dealers serving the Valley for over 80 years. ValleyChevy.com. Real quick on this day report powered by 72 Sold, America's home selling program. Back in 1990, the Suns shattered the NBA record with 107 points in the first half as they beat the Nuggets 173 to 143.
Damn.
How about that?
It's like an old ABA game right there,
Hey, you
Jimmy.
got that right.
That's brought to you by 72 Sold. You need them more than ever now, and they have a solution for today's home selling market. You are making a mistake if you go the traditional route. 72 Sold has a solution in today's market. Let 72 Sold show you the top market price for your home. Go to 72sold.com and get your price a higher price at 72sold.com. The play-by-play voice of the Rams, JB Long, is coming up in about 30 minutes. Also, your chance to challenge one of the lovely ladies here at Twin Peaks Camelback to win a Twin Peaks man card and much, much more as we get you ready for tonight's Thursday night game. One that I would probably take the
10
off if I had to. This isn't one game you have to watch with the Falcons and the Panthers.
You can listen to us do the high school game.
Oh, please.
Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900 and always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All
You guys are hot.
with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Got here at Twin Peaks Camelback. They have 4 value locations. We are at a different one each and every Thursday thanks to Blue Moon and Coors Light. Happy hour gets underway here at 3 o'clock, 3 to 6. And you can always take advantage of Coors Light and Blue Moon specials on Thursday to kick off your football weekend. You got college games on tonight. You got NFL with the Panthers hosting the Falcons. They just played a few weeks ago, and they're going to go at it again tonight right around 6:15. Hopefully you got your picks in for the Fan Pick'em. Congratulations to James White of Phoenix. He won last week. Got himself a Twin Peaks gift card, a man card, so we'll get that out to him this week, as we've had different winners every week, which is kind of nice. Sometimes we have repeat winners, and that kind of sucks. That means they're having success.
Yes, they are.
And,
They're pretty good.
I was second in the running for a long time.
Yeah,
I have dropped to the bottom now. I'm in the cellar now.
I'm one behind you, Jimmy. I think I'm
Picking the
number
home
4.
teams. Picking the home teams every week's just not cutting it.
No, that doesn't work.
But you know, you got that shaking Mike Bauer, then you got Grosser, then you got Jimmy B.
Bauer doesn't count. He just doesn't.
He does a Saturday gig every morning.
Yeah, but
You know,
he's just
taking the points.
He doesn't count.
He's taking the wins. You know,
Nah, he doesn't
obviously.
count.
And then got me. One behind you.
Bauer's a part timer. you got to, Ghost doesn't count either. You got to be able to do more than one day of radio.
Well, they're doing
more than
pretty good.
a couple hours.
Yeah, they might debate.
That's why
you on
Jackson counts, because he's here Monday, Thursday, Friday,
Yeah.
Saturday. He's a team player.
that. Yeah, not Jackson's really. You doing okay, Jack? What are you?
By the way,
number
Jackson's
7?
got our video streaming going right now.
He
We're up
does.
on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Check it out. Send us a little note, and a few of you guys sending us notes while we're on the air. We can respond to. Oh, wow, Jimmy's taller than I thought he was. Or Manuch's nose is bigger than I thought. Or Rock doesn't shut up during breaks. Whatever it may
Could
be.
Jimmy please get a booster chair? I can sit. That's what I get right here off the side. Steve out in Philadelphia.
A top story this hour is brought to you by the new sports book in the CAZ Sports Bar, now open in Casino, Arizona. Oh, got some more coffee.
More
Thank
Java.
you. Monday night, it will be the Commanders and the Eagles. I'll be hosting that, so come on out and join us. We should have a lot of fun, as we'll be giving away the cash, as the jackpot's already over $2,200. As that thing just continues to grow and grow and grow and grow. And, Jax doesn't talk to us three like he does our server. It's kind of interesting. It's a different tone.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Oh, is he?
Because she popped in. I'm sure you saw it on the video.
Yeah. Is he?
But,
Is he begging?
Yeah, and then he gets in front of the camera. He's doing his hair. He's just trying to make that happen.
It's the only week that he actually combs his hair. Rob.
Yes, every
It's
Wednesday.
amazing is that.
What I'd give to be 22 again.
Oh,
jeez.
Yeah,
23?
Izzy's our fine server.
23.
Izzy's-
22? All right.
Yeah, Izzy's our fine server today. She will be playing this afternoon.
Oh,
at
I bet you
2:45.
did Jackson pick her out?
Yeah, he did.
Good job, Jackson.
He volunteers to scout when we're doing that each and every Thursday at 2:45.
How about Devin Booker last night? He put up another 30-point night. Suns were shorthanded, and they ended up smashing the Timberwolves. Didn't see that coming. I thought with the fact that they were shorthanded with Chris Paul with that heel, and of course
Cam
Johnson out basically for the year. It feels like the guy stepped up, man. Booker went off for the 32. He was dishing it out with 10 assists. They're now 8-3. And how about Bridges? 31 points, and he was on fire. Cam Payne did what he needed to do. He chipped in 23. And the Suns continue their 4-game road trip.
Nice to see quite a bit of the bench. Landry Shamet came in at 16 points. So, yeah, they picked up the slack. And with Bridges, he started off quick, hitting everything. And then Cam Payne, I feel, Jimmy, you've seen a lot more NBA basketball than I have. He seems so much more under control this year. I mean, he's hitting his shots. What he hit, how many? 4 3 balls last night. But he just seems like the pace, the tempo, he's not scattered. He's not going in for a layup at 50 miles an hour. Seems more under control when you watch him. And he seems more control with the offense, too.
I think what is happening here is, what year is he now into the league? 4?
5.
Is it 4 or 5?
It's his third year at the Suns.
Okay.
So maybe 4 or 5.
Sometimes, excuse me, sometimes the light bulb goes on later for players, and he has had his struggles, and we have seen them. even though he's been in the Suns jersey. And maybe just now, when that light bulb does indeed pop on, guys just get more comfortable. And I think you made a good assessment, Manuch, when you said, gee, I think he slowed down a little bit. He still pushes.
Sure.
But
under control.
Yeah.
He doesn't go around that curve at 80 miles an hour.
No,
he goes around about
70.
60. Yeah, he's geared down.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see Dario Saric get more minutes. Got 13 minutes. Got a couple rebounds. He looks more fluid. No hesitation whatsoever. The shot, 5 points, any contribution you could get. But, I'm like you, Rock. I thought last time without Bridges, they made a run with Bridges and, Cam Johnson. Matter of fact, Cam Johnson, last time Philadelphia played here over about, a week and a half ago, hit some key three-pointers for the Suns to pull away. Last night, it was no competition. They're up by 20, 18 points.
I like to kind of gamble a little bit. And
how'd you do?
Didn't win yesterday.
You didn't?
I hate to bet against the Suns, but I just felt because they were shorthanded, I thought it was an opportunity. They're on the road. I mean, as a gambler, you would look at those.
All right, what was the spread?
Oh, I don't remember.
All right, were they getting
2.5, 3?
1.5.
I don't remember.
All right, next time call me.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Jimmy the
ASU men's basketball, they play tonight. They got Northern Arizona. Do you want to go? I have 4 tickets right now at 602-260-9191. 4 tickets with parking to go to tonight's game to see the Devils and the Lumberjacks there in Tempe. So if you like them, you got to be the right caller. Let's go caller number, 11, Manuch?
No, double aces, 11. Absolutely.
11. We'll go 11.
Yeah.
602-260-9191. And you can head out to see them tonight. Elsewhere, Arizona hosts Southern. They do that tomorrow. Last night, if you missed it, Grand Canyon crushed San Diego Christian 101-50.
Yep.
Yotes are in New York. They got the Islanders. They've won 2 games on this long road trip, believe it or not.
First 2?
Yeah, I mean, it's a 14-game or 12-game road trip.
14 games.
Yeah, they'll be back in February.
Yeah.
The thing that I watched that game because I got tired of the political stuff for a while, so I went to the Yotes and watched. These kids play hard.
Yeah,
they did.
And, I mean, do they lack talent? Are they that talented? No. But they play hard.
It's interesting you say that. Yesterday I was outside at my house, and I live next door to Coach Peters, who's with them, and he said they were going to be really, really bad. And he's like, they're playing tough.
Yes.
He goes, they are surprisingly playing better than he thought.
Yeah,
they got more wins this year than they did last year at this point. So there's a lot of positives because the goaltending is just horrific. But he said, other than that, the kids are playing hard, and they're still 2 years away, 3 years away from being, a playoff team. But for now, it's actually good to hear that, and we'll have him on next week to talk about it.
Well, the kid had 32 saves.
Yeah,
I mean,
he played terrific.
Well.
When your defense sucks and you're thrown in, Buffalo sucks too. Buffalo's a bad team too.
Yeah.
The lesser of 2 evils. So,
yeah, I mean, they're 2 really bad teams. And Islanders, we'll see what happens tonight. But there you have it. Some of the top stories today brought to you by the new sports book and the CAZ Sports Bar. Again, we'll be out there Monday for Monday Night Tailgate. We broadcast from 1 to 4, and then game time just after 6 o'clock.
Got to add to that, looks as though the D.C. Attorney General there in Washington, D.C., Carl Racine, is bringing a civil suit against Daniel Snyder and the Commanders and the National Football League. So far, those are the individuals because of the toxic workplace culture. So far, it hasn't brought anything to any other owners at this particular point in time. So,
well, there's a ton that want it.
Well, and that's the thing.
The Boston Red Sox owner. I mean, there's guys.
Yeah. So maybe the timing for last week when Daniel Snyder had Bank of America assess the value of his team.
Sure.
Maybe this is a precursor, and maybe when you see the National Football League and the commissioner also part of this civil suit, interesting to see what proof they can put on there that connects Goodell. Daniel Snyder, I think it's going to be too difficult. But if a lot of this was known by Roger Goodell and other owners that were also culpable with all these activities going on, he listed activities, man, could you imagine that? So we're going to sue everybody. So it'll be about a $2 billion civil suit after it's all said and done. Give or take.
Here's where I am. I just wonder who's going to be the first one to talk. I just want to see who.
Well, they start subpoenaing everybody,
I
Jimmy.
know that. That's what I'm saying. I want to see who the first big name is going to be, who's going to show up and talk.
If this district attorney has the receipts, you better be truthful. You better be honest.
That's right.
And if you're Goodell, you better come clean. And maybe John Gruden is one of those other guys that may have known. I mean, there could be coaches. There could be other players.
Other owners.
There could be other owners. But with the civil suit, nobody's going to jail, but there'll be a lot of money that'll probably be cashed out.
Hey, good news today. The market was real hot, and interest rates coming down a little.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
And that's and this is the time where you could use 72 sold Rock back for 72 sold. Everyone knows the home sales market is getting tougher. Well, that's some good news today, as the number of sales are down, the prices are down, so that's the time to buy. But 72 sold is still getting top dollar for their customers, and they can have your house in front of tons of potential buyers in just 72 hours. That's right. You're making a mistake if you go the traditional route. 72 sold has a solution for today's home selling market, and that will continue for a long time. So use 72 sold. All you got to do is go to 72sold.com and get your price a higher price. And especially now with this interest rates going down, that's great news. Let's hope we can keep it. But you got to go to 72sold.com. That's 72sold.com. Well, Georgia, they vaulted to number 1 in the new college football playoff rankings that were released on Tuesday, and they moved up. The defending champions moved up 2 spots after Tennessee was at number 1. They took care of that. We're going to give Jack some crap about that. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 3, Michigan. And how about TCU rounding out the top 4? We're going to analyze it next as we continue on. The voice of the Rams coming up in 15 minutes. JB Long. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B out here at Twin Peaks Camelback.
Mornings, The Drive with Jody Ayler. Listen tomorrow, 6 to 10 on Fox Sports 910.
Georgia
is number 1. They move up from number 3 after just thrashing Tennessee on Saturday afternoon. Behind the Dogs, I assume it's going to be Ohio State. And it is. The Buckeyes, in some awful weather in Evanston, remained undefeated. Michigan messed around for a little while and then steamrolled Rutgers late. They move up a couple of spots. And so Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, 1, 2, 3. I think most people expected that. Now the question is, does Tennessee fall from 1 to 4 or farther?
You guys are hot. 10 seconds.
Getting into the top 4. Let's see who's number 4. The Horned Frogs of TCU, Joey. Finally, they're getting some respect.
That's right, TCU, number 4. That came out on Tuesday night. So if the playoffs started today, the CFP playoffs, Georgia would play TCU, number 4, and then Ohio State, Michigan. It's not going to happen. We'll just be honest. It's just, that's not going to happen because Ohio State and Michigan are set to meet last week in November, and then there are all the conference championships games and things like that. But there you have it. As you look back to last week with Georgia rocking Tennessee and LSU walking off Alabama, and how about Clemson? They
losing to Notre Dame.
That shouldn't have happened at all. But as we look ahead to this particular week, it all started on Tuesday with the Battle of the Bricks, man. Ohio and Miami. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
That was huge.
Won money on Bobcats again.
There you go.
I'm on fire, man. They won, I think, 4 straight. I mean, they're on fire. MAC action, man. Last night you had Northern Illinois, Western Michigan, Buffalo, Central Michigan, Kent State, Bowling Green. And then tonight it's Tulsa at Memphis, Georgia Southern at Louisiana. And then this sucks. The college football version of Friday Night Lights. You got East Carolina taking on Cincinnati, Colorado at USC, Fresno State at UNLV in Vegas to wrap things up. And then, of course, Saturday, big games for the honeydew list. 10 a.m. window, LSU, Arkansas, Purdue, Illinois, OU, West Virginia, Missouri, Tennessee. That's a big one. Mm-hmm. And then Notre Dame's going to face Navy in Baltimore. Then later that afternoon, you got a couple top 25 matchups. Alabama's Ole Miss should be a good one. I think Alabama's going to come out and crush them.
They're at Ole Miss, but I'm with you on that. I think
they're going to crush them.
This will be a big game.
UCF at Tulane, Nebraska's at Michigan, Louisville, Clemson, Wisconsin, Iowa, Iowa State, Oklahoma State, and South Carolina, Florida.
Don't sleep on Tulane.
I got to tell you what, the TCU at Texas game at Texas.
I know.
That now we're going to see TCU. Here they are, a higher ranked opponent. That is a dog going into the game.
They're a 7-point dog.
7-point dog going into UT Austin.
Yeah.
That's interesting to see that. And if you look at this, if Bijan Robinson does what he did to my Wildcats in Manhattan, Kansas, it'd be a tough game. But TCU always comes back. They can shore up their defense a little bit and shut down this Texas running game with Bijan Robinson, the young man at South Point Catholic down in Tucson. I think they win this game. But that's interesting to see the number 4 team, a dog, to number 18. That's very interesting.
Yeah, I don't really want to I can't get into the rankings like a lot of people do. I would have no trouble with them just giving the rankings out towards the end of the year.
I think
Thanksgiving. After Thanksgiving.
Yeah, what it is, because it's for fans.
Oh, it totally
is.
Yeah. Because I mean, TCU Texas next week.
This week.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to change that if Texas can take care of that. I do think the Oregon-Washington game is a good game because it's at Washington. Washington's had some pretty good games.
Right.
Oregon, they got to make a statement. I think, like we just talked to Ole Miss, Alabama. I think Alabama's going to crush them. And you like Tulane over UCF.
I'm just telling you, Tulane's got some players. They really do. And Fritz, the coach, is a very good coach. I really like what UCF is doing and the way that they move the football. They are extremely aggressive, but that's the way Tulane plays as well. So it's going to be a high-scoring game, but I think Tulane finds a way to pull it out.
Think about that. Tulane.
It's at Oregon. I'm sorry. I think I said Oregon. It's not at Washington. My bad.
Tulane has come a long way from where they were. But UCF, everybody's healthy for that team.
Yeah,
and I think that that'll be one of those good games. But I got to tell you what, looking at Notre Dame, I continue to be a spoiler. They beat the Cuse. They beat Clemson. They can continue on, win out wherever the hell they play for after it's all said and done. But I just think what they a 3-loss record. That's not going to get them in the top 10.
No,
but they could be the spoiler from here on out.
Yes.
They could be that team that's vying to get into the playoffs. All of a sudden they get knocked off. I think North Carolina is the other team that is they're the other team. Mac Brown's got that deal completely
now
turned around.
they have a game, and they are on the road at Wake Forest. Later on in the show, I will reference that game. It's just a precursor to how good I've been lately. So
With your underdog picks?
yes,
Okay.
yeah.
I think you're in fourth place right now, but that's
Just
okay.
so you know.
You know, it's like 2 weeks he decided to go with the pick I went with.
Yeah. Well, he's copying. You know, he's kind of. You're on a
I-
roll, Rock. So
I
I
was.
follow
I'm
you
not,
too,
no,
man.
I won this past week, but I lost last week. So I'm
You
not.
did.
No,
but
I
won
suck.
last week.
The only-
I saw.
The only,
Hey,
that
for the
was
second
three.
consecutive week, the Pac-12 has 5 ranked teams in the college football playoff. 5. That's pretty cool. As the Huskies checked in at number 25, they needed a fourth quarter comeback to beat Oregon State in Seattle last Friday. And the loss dropped the Beavers, who were ranked 23rd, so they're out. You can imagine what could happen if they would have won or what have you. But here's the schedule for Pac-12. Colorado at USC. That's tomorrow night. ASU's got Washington State 1:30 on the Pac-12 network. Washington and Oregon at Oregon. I'm sorry I had that wrong earlier. That is at 5 o'clock on Fox. Cal at Oregon State. Pac-12 network at 7. Stanford at Utah. That's the ESPN night game. That's at 8 o'clock. And then Arizona at number 12, UCLA. 8:30 start.
Woo.
Local time, it is 7:30 in Los Angeles.
Pac-12 definitely after dark.
That's it.
Yeah, get your nap in if you're going to watch the rest of that bad boy.
See, I
Why?
love
It's only 8:30,
It's
9 o'clock.
8:30,
Who goes to
yeah,
bed? That's
yeah.
you get a nap in after you just went to Luby's. I mean, it's not. Why would you have to get a nap in?
Well, I mean,
Saturday night.
if that game doesn't end until mid-12, 12:30, 1 o'clock, a lot of
Oh,
folks,
7 starts at 8:30. What, 4 hours?
The game's
12, 11:30.
You're the K-State math, right? It's about 11:30, 12 o'clock. So get your nap in, get all your chores done.
right in my wheelhouse.
And at that point in time, if you get a chance to watch all that, I will say this about the top 10. I know a lot of the folks in the SEC were having a lot of heartburn about the TCU and Tennessee. They thought that should have been flipped when you look at it, because Tennessee beat Bama, who's number 9, and folks that going, well, TCU, who'd they beat? Well, they beat they came back, beat K-State, they beat Oklahoma. So there's a lot of merit with
Two teams that are average.
Yeah, they're not.
They are sliding.
They're not top
Thank you.
10. They're
Yeah.
not. Yeah, they're not.
I didn't
top
want to
10
knock
team.
his alma
Oh,
mater.
that's
but,
okay.
No.
Yeah, we should have never lost to
OU,
Texas.
the real OU would beat OU.
Yeah, we should have never lost to
Ohio
Tulane.
U.
We should have never lost to Tulane. That's definitely for sure.
There you go.
But I think that is, and to your point, Rock, that'll work itself out. But I felt Tennessee should have been
it's-
4.
You mark that down. That's the 4th time today. He said, Rock, to your point.
Exactly.
I'm going to get a lot of points today.
You get a lot of points
Yeah.
today.
Put that on the board, Ben.
You need them. That's for sure. Because we are chalking up points. But I think that Tennessee should be number 4 and TCU number 5, just because.
I disagree.
Now, why do you disagree, Jimmy?
I do too.
I just think they're undefeated. And Tennessee
You have to go undefeated.
got-
It's still
got-
undefeated.
got their butt whooped. That score is not really indicative to how dominant Georgia was. So, to be honest with you, if you are undefeated, you're playing.
I get that.
You're
I
playing. You're
understand
playing in a Power 5 conference. Then you should be ranked over a team that has a loss.
I just look at what Tennessee did to Bama, how they won that game. And I sometimes look at the eyeball test more so. And that's the only way I'd look at it.
Eyeball test?
Eyeball test, Tennessee.
55-24 over Oklahoma. It's still Oklahoma.
Sure. Okay, Oklahoma's down this year.
They beat Texas Tech by 10. They beat West Virginia by 10. They beat Kansas State by 10. Now Oklahoma State was that was an overtime 3-pointer.
Right.
Took care of Kansas by 7. They're blowing out teams.
Okay, but you got the Tennessee beating Bama, the 9th-ranked team, and TCU, who pretty much had to come back on my Cats on K-State and win that game.
2 minutes.
I'm just looking at it for
They
me.
beat them by 10.
But for me,
It wasn't- and it was a road game.
and watching Tennessee
No,
and then watching
it was a home game.
TCU.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah, watching Tennessee,
I
watching
would have jumped
TCU.
on that too. Just it would get a response.
It was.
He wouldn't have known.
I know he would.
Yeah. Oh, but that game was on the road.
But Tennessee,
When are they going to retire
ball-
the number back there?
number 10? Oh my gosh. Should be pretty. I would think.
Are you sending a check every month?
No, that stopped about 15 years ago because I got into radio. I had to make sure I get those.
Didn't have any money
salvage that money from that standpoint.
Hey, AZTV Channel 7 is your new home for college football here in Arizona. They're featuring schools that produce some of the game's best athletes. So you got high energy halftime bands, as you know, and Arizona AZTV is doing a great job covering these games every week. And if you get the opportunity to watch, you get to see our television commercial that actually airs in those games. This week, it's Albany State versus Florida A&M, and that will kick off at 3 o'clock. Got that, Jax? You need that for your show on Saturday.
And just make sure you watch me every Thursday between 9 and 2. Me and Brad Perry break it all down, the Cardinals, any other topics out there.
How much time?
1
do you
minute.
get?
I get about 5 minutes.
Oh, do you?
Do you really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Man, if I got a double dose. I got 2 segments last week because it was so good.
They
Absolutely.
said, hey, can you hold?
Absolutely,
Are you
man.
serious?
Yeah.
Did you come back after the commercial?
Dang, Skippy. Absolutely. Came back, went back-to-back segments.
He's
Absolutely.
got nothing else going on. I got you for the rest of the day.
Hey, I'll be here
I don't
all
have to
day.
train kids until 5. What do you need? Hey, the Rams place Matthew Stafford in the concussion protocol. What does that mean for this Sunday's game against the Cards? We're going to get the latest as JB Long, the Rams play-by-play voice, will join us next. We're coming to you live from the Twin Peaks in Phoenix on Camelback, thanks to Blue Moon and Coors Light. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B here on Fox Sports 910.
So they ought to take the C off his jersey. Stafford fires it downfield to an open cup. He beat him for 70 yards in the playoff game, and he's got another long one against the Buccaneers.
Oh my goodness, this is an incredible throw with Vita Vea bearing down on you and cut.
Guys are hot.
Perfect route.
Highlight courtesy of CBS. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B here on Fox Sports 910. Joining us now on the right to it guest line, the Rams play-by-play voice, also does some work for the Pac-12 Network. He joins us now with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. JB Long. How we doing, JB? What's going on, man? How are you today?
You guys, hope you're having a good day. Here you're on assignment.
So Manuch goes on your show, and then all of a sudden I get some dirt? Well, what's this all about? On assignment? I'm not on assignment.
Well,
never on a
last
Thursday.
time JB was on, you were on assignment.
Oh, where was I? Where did I go? What
There's
trip
no
did I
telling,
go?
Rook. You're on a trip reporting from somewhere.
World Series? What was it?
It was about, 3 weeks ago, JB?
I am going on assignment this weekend to your neck of the woods. I will be at the game on Sunday and taking some sponsors for a trip, and I'm looking forward to that. Never been to SoFi. I got one of those cabanas on the field. Have you been in one of those, JB?
Only when I'm not supposed to be, and there's no game going on. So I trust that you'll have a lot more fun than I did.
I'll be looking up to you over there. I'll have one for you then, JB, all right? So, hey, the Matthew Stafford concussion protocol, when did that all come down? And why didn't it come down maybe sooner?
No, that's a good question. We were not aware of it when we flew home from Tampa on Sunday night. Was not aware of it on Monday when Sean McVay had first his press conference, and then we did the Coach McVay show together. This sounds like more of a symptom identification on Tuesday, perhaps, in his conversation, routine checkups with the medical staff in preparation for a new week. So his status for the game up in the air, and we probably won't have any further clarification until as late as tomorrow when Sean McVay has his final press conference and that last injury report comes out.
So Wolford and a young man, Bryce Perkins, a young man I've worked with forever, are they getting a lot of the reps yesterday, today, and Friday until he passes his baseline test? Is that what's pretty much going to happen here, JB?
Sounds like, and you guys have seen Wolford in years prior. He steps into that final game, was it 2020, I believe it was, kind of a must-win for the Cardinals and the Rams, and got them where they were trying to go in relief of Jared Goff, and then started subsequently the wild card playoff game in Seattle as well. It's been a minute for him, and his summer wasn't great, but I will say Wolford did get a lot of work with the ones in training camp because the Rams were monitoring and managing Matthew Stafford's elbow. So we'll see if that serves him well if he does get pressed into duty. And quite frankly, he, and to an even greater extent, Perkins, have a mobility advantage on Stafford, and given the state of the Rams' offensive line this year, that may not be the worst thing, although we know Arizona is not necessarily the defensive front to exploit that as much as, for instance, a Tampa Bay or a San Francisco have recently.
All right, then that's my follow-up question. Here we have two teams that look extremely similar coming up on Sunday, JB. Porous offensive lines, quarterbacks that we are unsure if they're going to play. Have you dealt with this sort of situation before? Has this happened like in your play-by-play experiences where both teams just pretty much mirror each other, and also how important this game is to whoever wins?
Yes and no, no and yes. This is uncharted territory. You're right to point that out. But I think last week in Tampa Bay, we said that it was like that Spider-Man meme where everyone's kind of standing in the circle and pointing at each other like you are me and I am you. And this is all too familiar. So, other than it being Kyler Murray or maybe Colt McCoy instead of Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, this is very familiar in that the Buccaneers' backs were against the wall last week. And each week is a must-win in the National Football League, but I think with each passing loss, the use of that term becomes more appropriate, and it certainly applies to the two teams at the bottom of the NFC West.
JB Long, the voice of the Rams, here with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. What's the word? How healthy are these running backs of yours right now? Because that's where the Cardinals got beat pretty hard last week on.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit like when you say you have more than one quarter, or you have two quarterbacks or three quarterbacks, you don't have one. Running back by committee has not been productive. The committee has kind of been stuck in committee, so to speak. And I wouldn't necessarily place blame on the running backs, though Cam Akers has been a bit of a lightning rod and was supposed to be the lead back and has not delivered. His performance ranks among the bottom of the league's running backs. I do think there was a sign of life from Darrell Henderson, who had a couple productive runs in Tampa Bay last week and had the longest run of the Rams season. It was 23 yards, and fans of the Cardinals might remember Cooper Kupp scoring in Glendale on that jet sweep. That was 20 yards. Until last Sunday, that was the longest run of the Rams season. So a lot of that has to do with knockoff and removal up front, and there's a very good chance the Rams start their 9th different starting offensive line combination when they face the Cardinals on Sunday.
You know, JB, you look at the stat that was shown after the game last week that you guys have been outscored 71-10 in the fourth quarter. Unable to score, unable to stop the opposing team. I know that Sean McVay said after the game there's going to be some changes made. How many, if any, changes have been made with that defense or on the offensive side?
Well, I'll start on defense. And rookie corner Darion Kendrick was picked on a little bit by Tom Brady last week, especially in that not 2-minute, 1-minute drill that proved to be the game-winning drive. And I think the Rams are healthier than they've been since week 1 in their secondary, so his services may not be as necessary, and the Rams have some other options they might deploy. We'll see if Greg Gaines, defensive tackle and running mate of Aaron Donald, who's been great against the Cardinals, is able to go or not with an elbow. That could be another area where you see a change. Other than that, it's probably too strong to say this Rams defense has been championship-worthy, but I think they've been top-notch. The blame does not rest on their side of the football. Offensively, I'd be stunned if you don't see another change on offensive line, probably at left guard. I think there's a chance you see some shakeup in the backfield, maybe with the return of rookie running back Tyron Williams. And I certainly think they need to explore some more options with their eligibles. They are as limited in terms of their personnel as any team I've ever covered in the sport of football, and it's pain. It's costing them right now. And I think, to circle back to your question about the fourth quarter, I think some of their lackluster performance there might be sheer exhaustion because they just don't go very deep in there, too deep on offense.
More than fair. JB, I'm curious, do you consider this a knockout game? In other words, who loses? Are they toast for the possibility of making a run then in the NFC West with, even though Seattle and San Francisco, what they're doing, do you see the loser is done?
Yeah, if not mathematically, I think for all intents and purposes, yes. I do think this is an elimination game, and I say that for a couple of reasons. One, because as soft as the NFC playoff bubble is, I just think both of these teams and rosters right now have reached a breaking point, and so mentally, emotionally, spiritually, I think it would be tough to come back from. And then on top of that, I think Seattle, with multiple straight double-digit wins, you have to believe in what they're doing. And San Francisco is about to take off. I really think that with Christian McCaffrey in a bye week, they are about to become one of, if not the favorites in a top-heavy NFC.
JB, where's the blame game with the fan base right now? You come off a Super Bowl, everybody's fat and happy, and then this isn't what I think a lot of fans expected.
Yeah, I mean, I think the reasonable-minded ones say scoreboard, banner, Super Bowl ring.
Fair.
Live with whatever comes here. And then the more temperamental ones, the newer ones to the party and to the show probably say, your past is catching up with you with some of the draft capital that you've exchanged, and choosing to cut corners in certain respects, including along the offensive line, and the Bills kind of coming due there. Look, no one likes to lose, and this is supposed to be everyone's escape from the work week and from reality, and right now it's not been very enjoyable for Rams fans. And the record is one thing, guys, but the way they have lost games has been especially frustrating. To see this roster, this team, Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, struggle to produce 2 touchdowns per Sunday has just not been fun to watch, and I know they're hoping that changes on Sunday.
JB, I'll pull some lobster, some steak, maybe some Modelo or Stella's, and I'll bring them up to the booth, after the first quarter. All right.
I would prefer that to having to put down my headset and come join you if this game goes off the rails.
JB, as always, buddy, thanks for the time, man. We always appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. I hope you enjoyed today's office.
Yeah. That's JB Long joining us here, the voice of the Rams, and be coming on with us for many years. You're also part of the Pac-12 network, so Some days we get to just talk Pac-12 with him. But he is driven by All City Towing. All City Towing continues to grow. That means they're hiring. Head to allcitytowing.com. They have current and immediate positions available all over the board. Incredible benefits, 401k. They do it all. The fastest way to apply is online. Go to allcitytowing.com and search careers. That's allcitytowing.com. We are out here at Twin Peaks. Still got plenty of time to get in the fan pick'em, powered by Blue Moon and Coors Light. We do weekly pro picks. I think we've been doing about 15, 16 years we've been doing this contest. Grand prize is a trip to Hawaii, or you can just take the cash, which is $5,000. Head to fanpick'em.com. And speaking of that, is Jack's on the does he have a headset on?
He does, but he's over there. He's down right now. But Izzy is going to be our player here.
Okay. I was hoping to get an update on how well we're doing, like overall, who's been winning since Jax is kind of responsible for the updates on the Twin Peaks girls, as he also does the underdogs.
He volunteered for that.
Dude, it was like, I'll do it. I mean, it was like right away. It was like simple.
He threw his shoulder out volunteering for that. He raised his hand.
Where we're getting at is we're going to need a caller here in a few minutes. Actually, in a minute at 602-260-9191. You're going to compete against one of the young ladies here at Twin Peaks, and you're going to have 3 games to pick. You're going to have Falcons and Atlanta. You're going to have ASU, Washington State, and then Cardinals at the Rams. You're going to give us the winner of that. And if you defeat our Twin Peaks girl, you're going to win a $25 Twin Peaks man card. So that's what we'll have doing. We'll take caller number 5. Caller number 5 at 602-260-9191. It's so easy to go back. I mean, we were at that other station for a long time.
I was
like
waiting.
11, 12 years. It's so hard. And all the stations have 260.
Yeah.
And then it's 260, 9191 or
I had
260, whatever. And you were right there for me.
Absolutely.
So get on that. Again, we'll take the 5th caller, 602-260-9191, 260-9191 for our Twin Peaks Challenge. It's powered by Coors Light and Blue Moon. You get to compete against one of the young ladies here, Izzy. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. And we're coming to you live from the Camelback location. There's 4 of them in the Valley. There's this one, Scottsdale, Glendale, and Tempe. Soon to be a new one in 2023 out there in North Phoenix. So look forward to being out there as well. 5th caller, 602-260-9191. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
You ready? It's your weekly chance to challenge one of the beautiful girls from Twin Peaks. It's Peaks Picks. The Twin Peaks girls are the essential ingredient to the perfect lodge experience. Each week, our girl next door Twin Peaks contestant takes on a Fox Sports 910 listener for 3 games. Get the most picks right and win a $25 man card for one of the 4 Valley Twin Peaks locations: Scottsdale, Phoenix, Glendale, and Tempe. Don't forget man-sized Coors Light draft specials every Thursday at Twin Peaks. Time for Peaks Picks.
Guys are hot.
It's interesting that we are streaming on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. We have multiple different screens.
Yes.
But for this segment, there's just one shot of us together, Manuch, and then one shot of Izzy from Twin Peaks, where usually it's everyone gets a share.
She gets priority, man.
She's got a priority here. Izzy, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
So have you done a radio hit before? Have you ever done something like this?
I have not, but I talk a lot. So.
You do talk a lot? That's
do.
good. So this is how it works. We have 3 games you're going to pick,
okay.
and you are competing against Evan from Phoenix, okay? Evan Henderson, if anybody knows Evan Henderson, you'll see how good he is. He is going to compete. He's on hold right now, okay? So we're going to pick 3 games, and after that, we're going to talk about you and happy hour and all that, but we'll get to the first game. So there's a game on tonight. That's why we're here.
Okay.
It's the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers. It's in Carolina. Who would you like to see win this game? Or who do you think is going to win?
The only name I remember is the Panthers, so we're going to go with that.
Go with the Panthers. Hey, if that works. Evan, you got your work cut out for you today. Who are you going with tonight with the Falcons and the Panthers?
It's easy. It's really just the Panthers suck. I'm going Falcons.
Okay, Falcons. All right, that's fine. That's fine.
Our second game is Arizona State's going to Pullman, Washington, taking out Washington State. Wazoo, as they're called.
Cougars.
The Cougars. And ASU's on a roll. They're playing pretty good football. Wazoo, pretty good team.
On a roll?
Yeah, I would say Trenton Bourget threw for over 400 yards last 2 games. So ASU going up to Pullman, Washington, to take on the Washington State Cougars. Who you got, Izzy?
ASU, obviously.
Go Devils. Go Devils.
All right, Evan. Who you go with it? Sorry, Evan. We got cut off. Who you go with?
It can't be the Sun Devils. That school's full of frat boys. I would know I'm from Arizona, so I'm taking the Cougars.
I don't know. I know more preppy people from Arizona than I do Arizona State. I didn't go to either school.
Yeah.
But when I think of fraternities,
yeah,
I think of U of A right out of the gate. No?
No, I think it's just the campus at ASU is just long.
When you go to Arizona, at least they have houses, you know.
Yeah.
Here, I mean, there were dorms.
Yeah,
it's a joke of a fraternity system.
Half of them got burnt down, then they just leveled the rest of them.
All right, last game, and I need to score this game. All right, Izzy? Cardinals are in Los Angeles to play the Rams. Rams just won the Super Bowl last year. Both teams are struggling. Cardinals or Rams?
I feel like I've been saying all the wrong ones.
No, you haven't. No, Evan doesn't know.
I'll go with Rams.
Go with the Rams. Okay, give us the score. Like 21-10, 31-17, or
let's do 28-14.
28-14 Rams. All right, Evan, give us the winner and the score.
I'm going to agree with her. The Rams are taking this one. They're going to go high-flying offense. Cooper Kupp's going to have the day of his life. It's going to be 35-10.
35-10. All right, Evan, thanks for listening. Thanks for playing. Good luck to you. Hopefully you'll get yourself a gift card. Then you could come to Twin Peaks here on Camelback and visit Izzy. Izzy, when are you normally here?
I'm usually here Sunday.
Football?
Sunday football depending, mainly mornings, but I usually work nights every day.
Okay.
Mainly off Mondays, Tuesdays.
How long have you been working here?
I've been here since March, so however long that's been.
Yeah, okay, good. And Coors Light and Blue Moon specials. Happy hour starts at what time?
It is from 4 to 6.
4 to 6.
And then we have a reverse happy hour, I believe, at 10 to close.
Okay.
Which is midnight.
That's midnight close, okay. And what are those little beers? You know, they got the big man-sized drafts. That's what's so special for Coors Light.
Yeah, we've got a 22-ounce and we've got a 10-ounce.
What do you guys call those little ones? Is there a name for the little ones?
10 ounces.
All right.
Baby bottles.
Baby bottles. That's what. So that I've always said you up there. Baby bottles.
See, I used to nanny before this, so I switched the real bottles to the To the adult
To the
bottle.
10-ounce bottles.
Yeah.
I got it. All right. Boise, congratulations. You did a great job. Appreciate you playing. So we'll see. Hopefully you'll beat Evan, and you don't get the gift card, but hopefully he wins. He'll come see you, okay? So that's
Thank
Izzy
you.
here at Twin
Thank you,
Peaks.
Izzy.
Did real well with her picks. So she went with the Panthers, the Sun Devils, and the Rams.
Both of them went with the Rams. Big
Yes.
scores, too,
Yes.
man.
Yes, it wasn't bad. So brought to you by, of course, Blue Moon and Coors Light. And we do it every week, and it's happy hour right now. I thought it was 3 to 6, so I got to double check that. I think it's 3 to 6, so we'll double check that. So,
Jax, good job, man. You kind of got her. She said she had a great face for TV, great voice for radio. You did your scouting report very, very good there.
Hey, I appreciate it. I helped her out with the specials. I had the whole list in front of her too, just in case if she forgot. You know, so
yeah, like Kyler, you could have put it on her arm. You know,
Three.
I mean,
No, like Russell Wilson, he could put it on his arm, and he seemed to say he did pretty good. He and Pete going back and forth. Pete Carroll going back and forth.
And let me ask you, I'm not going to say the place, but I think you'll get it. There was a, when is a kid too young to have a birthday party at like a Hooters?
Too young I think if you're at least.
There's a guy in Iowa, or mom in Iowa, that posted a TikTok video
right
after she and her husband took their kid to Hooters for his 5th birthday.
No, come on.
Not 5.
No,
Yeah.
not 5.
No,
That's
man.
wrong.
That's when you go to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes, that's wrong.
Chuck E. Cheese are at least 10
I
or
didn't
11.
know if Hooters are still in business anymore. I mean, this place trumps
Oh,
it.
it does.
Over and over and over.
I'd say
It's the
if
worst food.
It's just. It was
I
all
didn't know
about
they're
the
still
scenery.
open. I thought they all closed.
A lot of them have closed down, but obviously there's a few open. I mean, I'm surprised CPS didn't get called in on that one.
Shoot.
Child
Hey, our
Protective
daily
Services.
digit today, guys, is 6.
Okay.
2 minutes.
6. Clues are. This is tough. Mike Mayock, general manager, Raiders.
Okay.
Jonathan Abram, who was just released.
He was.
Right.
Signed by Green Bay.
I'm going to
I
say.
got one more I can give you, but you'll get it.
I'll say this is the 6th high-profile individual that Mark Davis has either cut or let go from the Las Vegas Raiders.
You're in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean,
You're in the neighborhood.
I'm going to say that it is the 6th top draft choice that they have cut.
That's right.
Wow. Jimmy, every once
They
in a
have
while.
now parted way with 6 number 1 draft picks since 2019.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
All those players were selected by Mike Mayock.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
1 minute.
Well, maybe that's why Mark Davis felt that a change needed to be made with their general manager. That's incredible.
Hey, if you haven't done it yet, text PEAKS to 55678. That's PEAKS to 55678. And you'll be entered to win the customized backyard grill patio set, courtesy of our friends here at Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. You can enter daily. Standard message and data rates apply. We're going to talk some more Cardinals as Howard Balzer from GoPHNX will join us, giving an update on the latest of all these guys that have been hurt. We'll dive in a couple more stories, and we will we are going to get into, we're going to spend some time on our underdog of the week. As we did 3-2 as a group last week.
Bad.
Good.
Not bad.
Can't wait to get an update on how everybody's doing.
I'm making a comeback.
Seeing who's leading.
10.
I'm making a comeback.
Jimmy's get back in the fold.
I am.
We'll have that next. Hour number 3 is coming up with Twin Peaks. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900 and always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports.
Guys are hot.
10.
Kyler Murray's got a hamstring issue that he hurt in the second quarter of the Seattle game. And the Suns took care of business last night, and they are off until tomorrow to play Orlando, I believe, right? It's tomorrow?
Yep.
It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. We're out here at Twin Peaks Camelback, and we'll be here for another hour and get you ready for tonight's Panthers and Falcons football game, Thursday Night Football on Amazon. So if you don't have Amazon, you can watch it here at Twin Peaks. 4 Valley locations here at Camelback, which is what, 20th Street?
20th Street and Camelback, southeast corner.
Yep.
Or you got Scottsdale. We'll be at the Scottsdale Twin Peaks tomorrow. And then you have Glendale and Tempe. So you got 4 choices to check out Twin Peaks. Get yourself a nice cold Coors Light and Blue Moon. That's specials every Thursday.
Want me to tell you how this game is going to play out tonight? I've already had a vision.
I'm not going to watch it. I really don't care.
It's the Falcons and Panthers.
Yeah, I'm watching. I'm probably going to watch. Is Tulsa playing? I'd rather watch Tulsa.
Rock, don't put any water on his fire. He's ready to go, man. He's going to bring it. Bring it, Jim. What do you got?
But I thought we do our picks coming up. Is it one of your underdogs?
No, it is not in the underdog.
He's got a thought beside the underdog. Go ahead, Jim.
Here's the way it's
You guys hate when
out.
I'm here, don't you?
No.
Because you guys like to talk. I hear you guys have so much energy when I'm not here.
Oh, no, we got energy when we're
all
here.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah, man. Here's the
So
way,
what do you got, Jimmy?
Here's the way the game is going to play out. I visualized it.
Do we have
last night.
hold on.
Yes.
Ben, do we have enough time for this? I mean, how long is this going to be? Because we got our underdogs, we got Howard Balzer, our Lerner one call. I mean, we have a lot to get into
I'm
this
well
hour.
aware of that, yes.
Okay, all right.
Here's
So
the way-
you good?
Yes. Here's the way it's playing out.
Atlanta and Carolina?
Carolina's going to start P.J. Walker at quarterback.
We know that.
He's going to get beat up early in the game. Say hello again to Baker Mayfield, who will enter the game, and the Carolina Panthers then will upset the Atlanta Falcons tonight.
Not a snowball's chance in hell that's going to happen.
I knew you were going to say that.
Not a snowball.
It almost happened that overtime game. It wasn't for DJ Moore making a stupid mistake.
Well, here's the one thing
he catches that 72-yarder, right? Or 62-yarder.
Yep.
There's like 12 seconds left.
Yep.
But he had an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for removing that damn helmet when he left the end zone. And it moved him back 15 yards. The guy misses the PA.
48 yards. Yeah. Well,
and later a 32-yard field goal.
Which won the game.
Yeah, the clarification is you have to take your helmet off. You can't
That
be on the
correct.
field to play.
That
you
is
can't go out
correct.
the back of the end zone. You have to be on the sideline.
So you always kept yours on?
Oh, all the time, Rock.
Well,
You
look at
kidding
his
me?
face. Look at his
I mean,
face.
if I score, I threw a touchdown.
Did you have a nose protector?
No, man. I had the basic kind of the 2-bar type of
You
thing.
did have the 2-bar?
I had the 2-bar.
Like
yeah,
the
but-
kickers, right?
No, it was a little bit thicker than the kickers. I used to have a half
Did you
cage.
do the shield? Oh, this is what I want to know.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Since we're going down this road.
Okay.
Guys, Manuch, I love him. He's a brother. 18 years we've been doing this, so it's more. I'm having fun with this.
That's fine. Go ahead.
And I know you can take it.
Yes.
Okay, but I need to know because you knew Ferguson was never coming out. Ferguson was an Iron Man, right? So you had a job on the sideline to do your job. But I want to know, even though it's Buffalo,
right?
Which you play most of your games there.
Yes.
Did you put the eye black on, knowing that you weren't probably going to get in, but you still put it on?
Only in the preseason when I was playing, I did the eye black.
Preseason's even worse.
Matter of fact, because we had the game started.
I don't know if you had kangaroo court, but would you get in trouble if you put the black stuff?
Here's the thing. Now that's a very valid question, Mike Morocco.
Really?
Very good, because
I was trying to give you crap.
This
This is going to be a good question.
Because if you pull up images of one Dan Manucci, you'll see we used to have our kickoffs preseason at 6:00. All right, Buffalo time, and the sun would be glaring, so I'd do the eye black.
Does the eye black even work?
Oh yeah, it does.
I think a lot of guys like put it on just for the hell of it. I mean, in college, the guys at night games
It
are wearing
reduces
it.
the glare.
You tell me that it was like, did Cliff wear it? I'm sure Cliff had it on when he played at quarterback.
Well, and then so if we played any games that were whether I was backing up or starting, if it was the sun was shining, high sky like in San Diego,
That's it.
Bill Jack Murphy, I put the eye black on because of the glare, because the north, south, and the sun. Absolutely,
I don't get. This whole thing with the batter's eye, and now like in pickleball, it's a big thing in pickleball now.
It is, yeah.
It's a yellow ball.
Sure.
So I get a call the other day because out of Bellbank Park we have we have 41 pickleball courts.
Yeah.
And we have some banners that happen to be white banners with the sponsor logo on it.
Right. Okay. Right.
And I get a call the other day that we got to change the banners out. We got to make them black because the white affects the yellow ball. I'm like, shut them. No,
they can't pick it up.
They're amateurs. They're like, this pickleball thing's going on. It's getting out of hand.
Sure. Here's the other thing too: the fake eye black, because they got eye black tape.
Yes.
Guys put on versus the real.
I like the guys that look like they're crying. They have it all the way down their cheeks.
See, back in the day, before they had the eye black stuff, it used to have charcoal.
Yeah,
charcoal. You put it on there, and it was all good. And then the eye black. Now they got the fake eye black. It's not the real deal, but. All that being said, if it was a very sunny day, I have the eye black on. I'm ready to go because it reduces the glare as I'm looking down the field. And this is also a true story. Swear to God. Joe Ferguson.
We better call Howard. We're not going to be able to bring him on.
Really. True story, because Joe Ferguson had an issue with throwing interceptions, a lot of them in 1983. Kay Stevenson, who took over as head coach, changed the helmets. Used to be the white helmet with the blue buffalo.
That is correct.
Kay Stevenson. He was our
how long did he coach for?
About 3 years.
Yeah. Wow. That's a name that I've never heard of.
He changed the white helmets to red so that Joe would be able to read the defenses earlier and not throw the interceptions because he felt that the white blended in with some of the uniforms that are out there. Swear to God, it's a true story that he changed. Now they're back to their white.
They are.
And they got the blue
emblem on the side.
So some of the inner workings of the National Football League.
And your pickleball story, now the two professional pickleball leagues are merging together.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday.
And they have big-time investors. Tom Brady, LeBron
It's $3 million a team.
There you go.
Guys that have team, Drew Brees was one of the first.
Yeah.
I believe. So LeBron.
Yeah, Brady.
Who else have I heard? Steph Curry.
Yes.
I've heard just a long list of people that are jumping in on that. And pickleball's hot, man. It's one of the fastest growing sports, if not the fastest. I mean, some people say it's esports, but it is growing. And there's a new one called is it teak ball?
Teak ball.
It's soccer and ping pong hybrid. It's on a table. And they kick it. I'm trying to figure it out, but there's like 500,000 amateurs playing it right now.
Wow!
And then I think it's either T-ball, TEQBALL. I don't know how you say it. TEQBALL, and it's going to be an Olympic sport.
Get out!
Are you serious?
Are you serious? Really?
So, Rock, there's a little shot of me, that number 11.
Dude, it's radio. I don't care.
See that? Over the center. Got the eye black going.
I don't see it.
Okay, right there. That number 11 right next to Roger Staubach.
That's the only picture you have of you playing. There's nothing
several.
else on the internet. I mean, I've been to the end of the internet. And I have not been able to find crap on you.
One other that I'm very aware of. You get the Argo shot. You got the Wrangler shot. You got a few Buffalo Bills shot. But yes, to your question, the eye black helped quite a bit.
That's not really. I didn't ask if it helped. I just asked if you were on the bench and you put it on.
Matter of fact, that game is against your Philadelphia Eagles. As a matter of fact, it was the very first preseason game.
Oh, it was a preseason game.
Yeah, preseason game right there.
See, it helped him write down plays on the clipbood.
Yeah, exactly. It helped him that glare with the
Kept
black
in the game, man,
and the black Sharpie that he had.
The other thing too,
hey, our State 48 Roofing, it's your call question of the day. If you had a chance to watch Hard Knocks, what grade do you give it? A, B, C, or D?
Yep.
For a free quote, or maybe need some repair. We've had that rain. You have some leaks. Head to state48roofing.com. You can always follow Jason and his crew by just searching hashtag sexy roof status. As we mentioned earlier, with the Suns, nice win last night, shorthanded. Chris Paul was out. Devin Booker scored 32, had 10 assists. Bridges had a hell of a game, 31 points. Cam Payne, he chipped in 23. They are now 8-3 on the road. They have their 4-game road trip. They'll continue tomorrow in Orlando. ASU hosts NAU tonight, men's basketball. I have 4 tickets if you would like them right now. 4 tickets with parking. I will email them to you directly, and you can go to tonight's game and see the Lumberjacks take on the Sun Devils down there. Is it still called Wells Fargo? I don't even know what it's called anymore.
I think so.
602-260-9191. So the arena down there, well, it could be named after some mullet dude, or I don't know what it is. So I got 4 tickets for you and parking if you want them. 5th caller, 602-260-9191. But coming up, we always enjoy doing it. We get to do it every Thursday afternoon at this time. It's where we do our underdog picks of the week, and we're at the Twin Peaks in Phoenix. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
The question is, who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Most weekend bettors prefer to lay their money down on favorites because they can't get their head around backing an underdog. Not Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. They're all about the dogs. Time now for the guys' dog picks of the week.
Guys are hot.
Fox Sports 910.
Before we get to it, congratulations to Wes Whitmer, who won our tickets to go see the Devils and Lumberjacks tonight in Tempe. So appreciate you listening and have a good time. So how did we do last week? Now, the way it works, the underdog has to be more than 3 points. That's kind of the rule we set after Manuch was going like 2.5 to like the first week. So, yeah, 1.
It's a dog. The dog's a dog. I'm glad you clarified that.
So, last week we went 3-2 as a group. I had Cal to cover 21 versus USC. Cal lost by 7 and covered, so I won that. Manuch, Oregon State at Washington. OSU to cover was 4.5. OSU lost by 3. They covered, so he won. Jimmy, Coastal Carolina, getting 3 points against Appalachian State. He won that one as Coastal Carolina won 35-28. Ben, Panthers plus 7.5 versus the Bengals. He lost. And then Jack's Tennessee plus 8 at Georgia. He got destroyed. Lost that one 27-13, and Tennessee drops out of the top 4. So we move ahead to this week. And again, for our wins and our losses, we are each donating $25 to the Arizona Humane Society season-long underdogs. Have some fun with that. We donated to the Arizona Humane Society, so we're looking forward to doing that when the season is all in. So overall standings now, I'm 8-2. Manuch is 6-4. Jimmy's 500. Ben, Richie, and whoever else works the board, 7-3. And then Jack's, 3-7.
Wow, Jax.
And here's the thing about Jax. Okay, we get it. He's young. He's new. He does a gambling show on Saturdays. They'll take the points, and he's the worst. So when you listen to him every Saturday from 11 to 1, whatever he picks, go the other way. Yeah. Take the points.
It's a good show.
It is a good show.
I've tuned it in.
Don't just walk. Run away. Run away.
All right, let's get it going. Benjamin.
Let's start with the guy who grew up playing tennis, and his dog Guinness beat him last year in the fan pickup.
Hey, guys, you ready to let the dogs out?
Rock, you got a lock?
Yeah, underdog. I am going. Where am I going? I am going to stay with my pick. Missouri is at Tennessee. It's a 10 o'clock game on CBS 5. 20.5. Wow. And if you recall, Missouri played Georgia a few weeks ago, October 1st. Well, not a few weeks ago, yeah. And they lost 26-22.
The game was.
The Bulldogs were a 4-touchdown favorite and only trailed 13-0 early in that one. And they made that close. Missouri's 4-5. But I think what happened last week with Tennessee, I think it popped the balloon for them. So I am going with Missouri and taking the 20.5. Not to win, but just to cover.
Manuch, you played the game, so this should be a no-brainer.
They're all my dogs.
Give us your dog of the week.
This might be one of the first in history. The number 4 rated TCU Horned Frogs at the number 18th ranked Texas Longhorns. That game is in Austin, Texas. They are a 7-point dog right now. I don't know if I've seen that in a long time. Number 4 team, a dog to the number 18 team. I'm going to go with TCU to cover this game.
Do you have them winning outright?
I got them winning outright. Absolutely.
Okay.
I got that winning
side bet, because I'm all over Texas.
Well, if Texas keeps the winning
Texas.
I'm going to go, I'll side bet. Okay, we'll do that.
Lunch.
Okay, what's good?
Just gift card. Okay, go ahead.
I got it. All right.
Jimmy?
Finally, he's not Jimmy the Greek, but he's been calling the game for over 40 years.
What about the dogs? What about the dogs?
Jimmy B, what's your underdog pick of the week?
Well, I had Coastal Carolina, and I looked at them again for this week, but they have lost their quarterback, Grayson McCall. So I backed off of Coastal because it was a winner for me last week. I love the ACC matchup. North Carolina at Wake Forest, and the Tar Heels are getting 3.5. And both these teams could put monster points on the board. This is not going to be a defensive struggle. This is going to be high scoring. And the Tar Heels, they cover, and they will win the game outright.
Okay. All right, Ben, what do you got this week?
Well, I'm going to stick with what I know in the National Football League, and I will take the Colts to cover +6 against the Raiders this week, against the Raiders team that should never be favored by a touchdown. Josh McDaniels does not look like a great coach. Their line does not look well. The Colts can absolutely get after it, and teams that get a new head coach tend to play better. So I'll absolutely take the Colts to cover +6.
I agree with the teams that get a new head coach.
Jeff Saturday.
But a head coach.
Yeah.
Someone that's been one before.
Yes.
This is one of the most bizarre hires ever. And I think it's gonna backfire for Irsay.
You think so?
Hey, I saw Steve Wilkes.
See it happening. I mean, when you have Fox, who's been to 2 Super Bowls, and you have some other guys that could have coached, that would make so much more sense than them doing this. This is an embarrassment. Absolute embarrassment.
I find it interesting. I equated it the other day to John Lynch, now the general manager of the 49ers. He came out of the broadcast booth, but he's a GM. Not the coach.
You're not making play calls.
That's right. That is exactly correct. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, so he's going with the Colts in that one.
Yeah.
All right, Jax, what do you got?
This might be a first. I actually agree with Manuch here.
I'm
going with.
You got to try something. You're 3-7.
I'm thinking. I am.
Bauer's not here. Gross is not here to help you out. So
yeah, I know, right? So I'm gonna go TCU +7. I don't know if they win the game, like you, Rock, said. I think Texas at home is a tough place to play, but TCU comes back in the second half. I mean, I think it's going to be a close one, and Texas is known for blowing some big leads, but I think TCU covers. I'm with you, Manuch. Let's go Horned Frog.
But he doesn't have him outright. So I'm outright. I'm not playing spreads on this one. I think Texas is just going to win. Anyway, those are our underdog picks this week, as we do each and every week. Let's get an update on our State 48 Roofing It's Your Call. We do it every day. It's driven by State 48 Roofing, Arizona's top roofer. You can find them on their Twitter pages and their social media platforms. Just search #SexyRoof status. You get yourself a free quote, repair, if you need installation or anything like that. You can check it out at state48roofing.com. The fastest way to get a trained technician to your home because of that rain yesterday, or even your business, go to state48roofing.com. That's state48roofing.com.
All right, how would you grade the first Cardinals Hard Knocks that was on last night?
I didn't see it, so I can't.
Would you give them an A? Well, you got to watch it tonight. Yeah, would you give them an A, a B, a C, and or a D? You can still go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter. We got a tie. A B and a C are both at 50% as of right now. So you can still go online at Roc and Manuch on Twitter.
Yeah, I've only seen some of the highlights. The Buda Baker thing is just, I know
it's phenomenal.
I disagree. I just think it's embarrassing. I don't know.
That's how locker room is, Rock. Guys get passionate.
I agree. I haven't been in one to that level, but to cry, I just think that's a little much.
J-Rock, you've never been in a football.
No, I haven't. I have, but I've been in the Colts. I've been in Carolina, but not as a player. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm yes, you have it. You have it right. I have not been in one. Surprising to see that middle of the season, a guy gets up crying. All right, you lose the Super Bowl. All right, I see it. But there I don't.
Rock, you cannot imagine it. Football is an emotional sport. You put your heart,
of course, I know
your
that.
soul. You put everything.
Of course,
but when you
every sport's
a lot of that was frustration. Just like everybody could just get dialed in. So he's frustrated. He's passionate. He's like, "Look, guys, here's the deal, man.
I know.
Y'all got to get it.
I get it. I guess I would have expected more of a yelling, screaming, get in their face. Get your ass together.
He was in their face, man.
When he talked about film, is that a knock on his boy Tyler?
That's like everybody. Get into your film. Getting your body ready. Get yourself ready to go. Get your act together.
No, I have never been there. I have never been there for that level.
I love seeing that.
I'm sure you did. And I bet 95% of people do feel that way. I just would like to see someone take charge and yell and scream at these guys and light a match, not on the emotional side. Because it looked like just watching that and you're seeing the other guys, they all look down and you're bringing everybody down. I want to get up and go and fight for the guy. Let's go.
What he was doing, he's giving them a hard dose of reality. Look, y'all need to get it together. We're here. And he said, "Hey, I love you guys. Let's work it out."
That part was cool. Again. As one of the captains, I just would have thought he'd be a guy that would come out as he's a vocal leader and just been more.
That's what you want out of your
Vocal,
captain. That's exactly what you want out of your captain right there. With that, what he said there.
Well, let's see if it works. I mean, the guy's not playing for a couple weeks,
Rock,
but
that needed to be said. He needed to say that because, you know what, it means more coming from your captain, the leader of the team in that locker room, not Cliff Kingsbury, not any of the coaches. That needed to come from that guy because he's the juice. He's the energy in that locker room.
To that point, Manuch, that's why I thought when I heard that soundbite was out, that it would have been more of him yelling and really kind of pushing his team, not the emotional side.
You know what? That what he did there was more than yelling and screaming at those guys. He's like, guys, you have got to get this together.
I'm tired of losing.
Well, you know what, Rock? I'd be tired of it.
You need a break. Hey, this is BS. This is this. You guys need to get your, you know what? Get it in line. Let's go. Not, I'm tired of losing.
He said that, and he's so emotional. Matter of fact, the linebacker coach said, "Hey, look,
I disagree. Like I said, 5% of people may agree with me, 95 don't. But that's how I feel.
I would say 100% don't agree with you right now. 100%.
I disagree. I talked to some people around the water cooler yesterday about it, and they're like, "Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Why is he like a badass getting this guys late in a match on their ass instead of pouting? Pouting like a little kid. Maybe what it is, Manuch. Maybe I'm just tired of these younger guys are so damn enabled.
Well, he's not enabled. Buda Baker is the soul of that Cardinals team. That was pure emotion.
That was working for him.
Raw emotion. If guys have ever put a helmet on and shoulder pads and a jock strap,
that's why I'm thinking that if I put on a jock strap and a helmet and a uniform, I wouldn't expect that. I would expect somebody yelling and screaming at me to get my you-know-what in order.
That was needed.
Not crying that he's tired of losing.
That was needed in that locker room after that loss to Seattle. They needed that.
We'll find that out this weekend, won't we?
And we better
hope so. And the
so.
weekend after that. Hey, we're going to catch up with Howard Balzer next. It's Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B from Twin Peaks.
Behold.
from Puna Ford. He's got DeAndre Hopkins, and Hopkins has a touchdown.
They have it. Hopkins against Seattle last week that they lost. That was courtesy of Fox. Howard Balzer joins us now on the Right to It guest line. You can catch him on Twitter at hbalzer721 or check him out on gophnx.com. How we doing today, Howard?
Hey, guys. How you all doing on this beautiful Thursday?
Can't complain. It's beautiful. We're out here at Twin Peaks, which is beautiful, so we have a good time there. Hey, did you get a chance to check out the first episode of Hard Knocks? And if so, what was your biggest takeaway?
I'll tell you, I think there were several takeaways from it. I did of course watch it, and I thought it was interesting that earlier in the day, yesterday, at our media availability with Cliff Kingsbury, he told us that Buda Baker suffered his ankle injury early in the game and played the rest of the game with it. And then we see when he injured it, or at least he really came up hobbling, was after that. It was a tackle on that drive, one of the last drives for the Seahawks touchdown. So it's always interesting, some of the information we get from this team, and it either gets contradicted by something else, or we don't get told the story. I mean, heck, yesterday, because they had a walkthrough.
I think we're having
there or not, and like they would on a regular practice. So here comes Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray into the press conference, and we don't know that Kyler Murray wouldn't have practiced if it was a regular practice because of a hamstring injury. So, but back to Hard Knocks, plenty of the things with seeing the things that are said behind the scenes, seeing different things. I thought HBO did the film, did a really good job of how the team was, what's happening, the ugly certainly, and and hearing different people, talk about the different things. But there were a lot of interesting moments, I thought, during the show. And of course, when Kyler Murray came up and said, "Hey, I tweaked my hamstring," and it was why he didn't go full out on that run. And now you wonder, hey, what's he going to like going forward if he's a little worried when he's running the ball if something more might happen to his hamstring. So hey, it's just another thing for this team that's had to deal with an awful lot this season.
Well, it's interesting because as it was yesterday, there were 14 individuals that were questionable, Howard. And will there be any linemen available for this game coming up on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know how many are going to be questionable. Yes, several of them are out, probably. Rodney Hudson will probably be out. Buda Baker already has been ruled out. Then you have, just the fact, guys, that they've had to have walkthroughs on Wednesday because they just don't have that many guys available to practice. And so they want to do as limited as possible. But yeah, they had a whole bunch of guys that didn't practice yesterday. We don't have the injury report yet for today. Kelvin Beachum, who didn't practice yesterday, at least was out there today. That was a good sign. Kyler Murray was out there. But still, you had Cody Ford not practicing, and Hudson, Will Hernandez placed on injured reserve. So, man, it's just one thing after another for this team.
What do you make of the Cardinals matched up against the Rams? They are so similar. With the quarterback problems, the offensive line problems, the defenses trying to struggle where they can't stop the other team. This is truly amazing to me, and yet they are competing against each other this coming Sunday, Howard.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, the Rams overall probably played better defense. The Cardinals have had some struggles in the last, 2 or 3 games. But offensively, they're almost mirror images of each other with how decimated the offensive lines have been, which have led to just very inconsistent play on the offensive side. And that's with Sean McVay as the play caller. I didn't hear this, but I was told that Dan Orlovsky on ESPN actually suggested that Sean McVay should give up the play calling.
Wow.
And I'm thinking to myself, what planet is this guy on? But it just shows, though, that a team like the Rams, with McVay as the play caller, when they've had 7 different offensive line combinations this season, and last Sunday against Tampa Bay played their 5th different guy at right guard. And those 7 different combinations don't even account for the fact that Andrew Whitworth, the left tackle, retired in the offseason. So both teams aren't productive on first down. In fact, here's an interesting stat that I haven't heard anybody else note, that the Cardinals are last in the NFL on average yards per play on first down at 4.38. The Rams are 29th at 4.95. So there's not that much of a difference. And what happens when you have failures on first down? It leads to 2nd and long, 3rd and long, and then it's hard to convert on 3rd down. The Rams last Sunday failed on 11 third down plays, and the average yard to go was 10. The Cardinals were a little bit under that with their 7 failures on 3rd down, but they had 4 or 5 plays of 11, 12, 17, 21 yards to go on 3rd down. So they're very similar with the issues they have, and I think it's instructive though to look at the Rams and say, hey, this is what happens. Even the teams that won the Super Bowl, when a lot of things are different on that offensive line than what it was last season.
Well, with all that, as Jimmy alluded, these two teams mirroring each other, it'll make for an interesting second half, especially an interesting fourth quarter, I would say, Howard, when you have a Rams team that's been outscored 71-10 in the fourth quarter, and the Cardinals, trailing at halftime under Cliff Kingsbury, are 6-27-1. So first 1-12 in the fourth quarter wins the game.
Well, yeah, it very well could be. It very well could be, and that's where the Rams lost it last week. Even through all their struggles, Tampa Bay's struggling a lot on offense also. But even with that, they were in the lead, and then Tampa Bay put a drive together to win that one. Both teams have lost 4 of their last 5 games. The Rams have had 4 games this season of their 8 that they've scored 14 points or less. And so, yeah, it probably will come down to the fourth quarter unless there's crazy turnovers and maybe a team scored like the Cardinals game against the Saints when they essentially built that lead that lasted through the second half because of 2 defensive scores. So, things like that can alter games. But if there's not anything like that, it probably will be low scoring. And whoever makes the play to win or makes a mistake in the fourth quarter to lose is going to be the one that ends up breaking that 4 or 5, lost games in the last 5 that,
He's Howard Balzer joining us here. What are you working on for Go PHNX? All right, we're having trouble with him, so we'd have a good connection today with him, right? Yeah, unfortunately. All right, but if you want more Howard, you can get him at GoPHNX.com.
2 minutes.
Does a great job covering the Arizona Cardinals, but covering the Cardinals for their inception.
Well, basically the St. Louis Cardinals many years ago.
Yep.
Then they went to L.A., and then they came back to be the St. Louis Rams.
Yes.
Now they come back, and he's got the Cardinals again. So hopefully the Cardinals have a better connection than the connection we had with his phone service right there. Phone? Guys, it is. It's I don't see a high-scoring game at all. I think it could be a 15-12 or 18-15 game because these offenses. Now, offensive-wise, I favor the Cardinals more so because they've got more weapons. They're quite the offensive line, but the weapons they have. If Kyler goes at this point, as far as getting the ball to more weapons, more so than the one weapon, literally one weapon that Matthew Stafford has in Cooper Kupp, he's kind of he's it. But then again, man, you got Aaron Donald.
He keep thinking about that.
Havoc.
Yes.
Sean McVay has got Cliff Kingsbury's number.
He does.
The only game he's won was last year, the 4th game of the year over in L.A. That was coming off the Tampa Bay victory that they had, and I think the Rams had a little bit of a hangover.
I think you're right.
Since Tampa Bay was undefeated at that time. So, yeah, this is with everybody banged up and with the 95th different offensive line combination the Rams have had.
Yeah.
And then the Cardinals are far behind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got guys, and quite frankly, I bet Rodney Hudson doesn't go.
I'm sure.
Your Pugh's out, and now you basically have Ford is questionable.
Your best defensive player, Buda Baker, not playing.
That's 7 offensive linemen that did not practice yesterday, guys. 7. That's why he had a walkthrough. He had a walkthrough on Wednesday. That's your day where you get everybody geared back up.
That's it.
It's usually defensive day, but you got to get the pads on. You got to get yourself ready. You got to get dialed in. And today, it's hard to go full speed when you got so many guys banged up or guys that can only go like 50, 60%. Was glad to hear that Kyler Murray did practice today, though.
That is a good sign. And you might get Kyler Murray for the Cardinals and somebody different now for the Rams, if indeed he is still in concussion protocol.
We're going to come back with more Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from Twin Peaks Camelback. It's Fox Sports 910.
Call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
You already screwed it up. I'm going to go with my last one, and they got it all. I'm going to go L.A.
Okay, you're lucky. That's one.
Okay, got one. I got first and second.
You really got one because he already gave you one.
Well, I know, but
I gave you 2 of the 3.
You're not supposed to give the order until we all give our picks, and then you can go from there. So I got LA and Box. I got 1 and 2.
Is this thing on?
Yeah.
You guys are hot.
Really? Yeah.
I didn't understand.
When do you turn 70? Not for another 15 years.
That's our Lerner Row 1 call. That's all. If you're in a wreck and you need a check, make the 1 call. That's all. 602-977-1900. And always at lernerrow.com. Kevin will join us tomorrow for his picks. You'll have a chance to win a $50 Visa gift card tomorrow. He'll join us then. But let's get to what's on tap tonight.
What's on tap? Powered by 72 Soul. A look at the top sports action tonight on TV. Get our price, a higher price at 72soul.com.
Well, everyone knows the home sales market's getting tougher. The number of sales are down, prices are down. But got good news today. Interest rates kind of went down a little bit. So that's a good sign. So 72 Sold, they can help you get top dollar. That's right, top dollar for your house. So you're making a mistake if you go the traditional way. 72 Sold has a solution for you in today's home seller market. So go to 72sold.com and get your price, a higher price at 72 Sold. So tonight, coming up here from Twin Peaks, Camelback, or any of the 4 locations, Glendale, Tempe, or Scottsdale, is the Atlanta Falcons 4-5 to play the 2-7 Carolina Panthers. Game time at 6:15, not 5:15 with the time change. By the way, for Manuch, the series finale of Atlanta is on FX tonight, and the series finale of The Good Fight on the Paramount Plus. Jimmy Kimmel's got Lindsay Lohan and Will Ferrell tonight.
Nice show.
You may watch that. Coyotes at Islanders on Bally Sports. That's coming up at 5:30. And then NAU is at Arizona State on the Pac-12 Network at 7 o'clock. So that is what's on tap tonight.
You know, I want to see how Arizona State plays. They didn't play very well in their opening game. They won, but it was like an enthusiastic effort. I just want to see if playing an in-state school, even though it's Northern Arizona, makes that effort more plausible.
Well, I think that you get the GCUs of the world. You get the U of A. You get NAU. All that coming together and playing. GCU, I mean, they blew the doors off last night. But I think a little Christmas tournament or something like that would always be fun to play. But I'm glad they're playing. NAU's been struggling the last several years in basketball. You know, they're looking to try to just turn the program around. Just their whole match is just mixing a win. You hope they do. And for Arizona State, a little chip on their shoulder this year. They're kind of barking that nobody is giving them any credit, any respect or any kind of credit.
Well, they did announce yesterday that the Braylon Green kid, who is a 4-star, he committed. He made it official on his page, his Twitter page. He was ranked by 24/7 Sports as the 22nd best shooting guard in his class. He had some looks from, some offers from Eastern Michigan, Duquesne, and Alabama. His 6'3" guard. So Hurley's class is it's starting to grow a little bit. Starting to get a few players here. We'll have to see if they'll stay.
Well, hopefully they do. Or hopefully if any of them are enticed away by an NIL deal, maybe a couple years down the road, I'd love to see ASU's program get back to, on a consistent basis, pushing for a Pac-12 title.
Yeah.
We'd love to see it.
When was the last time that happened?
Been a long time.
Yeah, Pac-12 title.
It was.
I thought you were going to say, maybe get to the tournament.
Well, that's
they
a
usually
bonus.
get 5 teams, usually, right? 5 teams normally, 4 or 5 teams for the Pac-12 get in the tournament.
Just tough to out-recruit UCLA, who's going to continue to be one of the top dogs. USC, right?
Arizona is who they have a big trouble with.
Arizona, they're finally on the I would say on the comeback trail, getting back to prominence once again.
Yeah,
I think that's you look at the U of A's, UCLA, that's you're competing against. But to that point, when you see some of these,
are they though, Manuch?
Who U of A?
Is Arizona State really? Are they really competing against UCLA and Arizona? I think that's a whole nother level. Then there's Arizona State.
Well, here's what
they're competing. I think with Colorado.
Okay, well,
Oregon State.
If you can grab one of those top recruits and steal one away,
UNLV.
from U of A or from UCLA or U of A, and just entice an individual, hey, you're going to play from day one. If that is attractive for some of these recruits,
but you're probably not. But you're probably not playing Saturday on CBS like U of A is.
I get that. I understand that. Yeah, that's a tough. I mean, And to that point, you got to be smart about who you recruit. I mean, you'll waste all your money and time after a guy that's going to be a 5-star guy that's all over Kentucky and U of A and UCLA and KU. Probably not, but there might be a few of those guys that get disgruntled with that.
Okay, so why can't you go chase those guys? That's what I want to know.
Because what Rock said,
I don't think they have the pedigree here as a basketball.
Bobby Hurley, one of the best guards that ever played.
There are a lot of guys that can play. I mean, you can talk about the Michael Jordans, the Larry Birds that couldn't coach.
Yeah.
Not saying they couldn't coach, didn't have the success as they did as a player.
And if that was the case, why is Georgetown struggling with Ewing as their head coach? They finally won a game at about a year yesterday.
It was their first time they had won an opener in like 3 years.
So if you're going to throw the Patrick Ewing or yeah, it's nice to have a guy that's been there, done that. But these kids nowadays want to go. They want to be seen. They want to go.
A lot of them probably don't even know who Bobby Hurley is.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And they might be if they look back at it. Now, Georgetown, where Patrick Ewing came from, those kids, they all have a pretty idea who that guy is. But yeah, from the recruiting trail, I think you go get some good, solid players that want to stick around for the good, 3 or 4 years.
Right.
That can be competitive. Hey, and when it gets to tournament time, you just never know what can happen.
I think there's just a lot of schools like the Georgetowns of the world that have always been great powerhouses of basketball. Do you really want to send your kid to Georgetown?
Well, they've been faulty
you really
the last
want to
couple
be?
of years.
You want to be down there at University 37th in those streets there in the Northwest, there part of DC. It's a bad area.
Here, put it this way: Georgetown is they've
hell of a university, but I mean, I'm talking about the campus itself.
I don't know. I think there's
some of these cities you want to send your kids to anymore.
Well, I would say this: the kids go to where number one, they're going to get exposure. It's a good program. I think where they're at is somewhat irrelevant. There's a lot of guys
disagree, man. I know the big 5 schools in Philadelphia, LaSalle, Drexel, Penn. Right. I mean, those schools, Temple, they all Villanova. Other than Villanova, because Villanova is more of a suburb.
Yeah, it is.
But the other schools are right downtown, and Philadelphia is right now when it comes to what's going on with crime.
And I've done games at all 5.
I know. I used to work at the Palestra for 1 year when I was at Penn.
If that's the best way to get you to the NBA, every shot the NBA, they'll go wherever. I guarantee you.
You don't think the parents have some influence on that?
I think it's a couple things: NIL, recruiting, having a chance to go all the way and get seen. Those kids will play wherever.
Peaks to 55678. You can register to win this customized backyard grill. Ben, good job today. Jack, same thing. If you missed anything, go to rockandmanuch.com. Always
10.
The iHeart Radio apps and download that. We'll be back tomorrow, Twin Peaks, Scottsdale, for another edition of Rock and Manuch Jimmy B.
Fox Sports 9.